is a
going live.
Jewel
I
singer. They
hit
don't have
live
teeth.
just so we could do this live.
Yeah, they don't have, half them don't have teeth. They have their own like weird language because they're so isolated from each other.
Okay. Good morning, chat. Real fast, to just say good morning in case anyone's here. I had to
Good
hit
morning.
live a couple minutes early because Nova says he's gonna win a debate. That Jewel is not. He thinks Jewel's not related to the Alaskan bush
You
people.
mean this? You mean the singer, the attractive young
Yes.
girl? Yes. There's
Okay,
no
I said
way.
that.
She wasn't on the show.
I didn't say she was on the show. I said they were her relatives, and you said you were going to win this, and that they.
Relative how?
That's like her dad.
No way. Nope. I'm staying. I'm
See?
staying
Okay, we're
firm.
back to being wrong. Alaska
Staying
bush
firm
people.
because she looks too normal. Unless it's a different mom.
I don't know if this is the same show, but we're about to find out. Because Jewel has a surprising connection to a reality show.
That's the Jewel, yeah. She had some good hits back in the day.
Jewel's related to TV personalities. Alaska the
Frontier.
Last Frontier. Was so close.
Victory.
Damn it.
Victory.
I thought
Frontier
it was Alaskan bush people.
A less retarded version. They were more normal.
Okay.
The Frontier people were actual, like, real families who did real stuff, whereas these Alaskan bush people were fucking living in the city and pretending to live in the woods.
Actually, I think I did see the Alaskan bush people thing. Like, their car just broke down one day, and they're like, "We're bush people," right?
Yeah, they just they're crazy.
Well, way to win.
They bought a boat and it sunk with all their possessions on it. Like, that wasn't insurance fraud.
Wait.
One of the first boats they bought sunk at the dock.
Sink though. Oh.
At the dock.
Shit. A beaver. Oh fuck.
Yeah, so that insurance check paid out well.
Damn. Well, didn't they probably investigated. I mean, come on, it was real. I believed him.
I did until a point. Until I found out they were going to jail for fraud and they didn't actually live there. That was just like their camp.
Did you ever see this show on YouTube called Patty Mayo? Or I don't really know if that's what it's called, but that was the guy. He was like fake arresting people. Like
that
bounty officer.
The fake arresting thing sounds familiar, but the name doesn't though. Was he like a teenager who's just pulling people over with red lights and a vest?
No, he was a younger person, but he wasn't a teenager, and he was doing like it's not bounty hunting. What's the other thing called? It's kind of bounty hunting, I guess. But my husband used to watch it. It was so stupid. This guy was so stupid. And one day they found out that he was all fake. I'm like, I was fucking telling you because this doesn't make sense and this doesn't make sense and you can't fucking do this. When I would see the shows,
I think I know exactly who you're talking about, but I can't put the name to it. I know the story. He was just being outlandish.
And he was trying to put it out there like it was real. And then after like it was out there like this is obviously not real. This is a show. Like just be here for entertainment, fine or whatever. I couldn't watch it anymore. Well, I couldn't watch it anyways, but I think my husband stopped watching it too because like after
once
a while,
the magic's gone.
I think if he would have started by saying this isn't real, it would have been fine.
No, he wouldn't have watched it. Guys like fucking weird, crazy off. Like we like to see crazy, and if it's fake crazy, that's no.
I wonder if he still has a show. I want to let's look.
Like Big Brother. I used to the first 1 or 2 seasons of Big Brother, I really liked until I found out they were staging it and they would change like the events to make the person they want win. And they had little videos where they'd show someone like pushing the contestant off. Their little balancing, like crazy shit. I'm like, nope, I'm done with this. Now I'm even getting delusion at the NBA. That's a whole nother fucking kettle of fish.
Is that him? God, I hope that's not him.
Can't see.
Ugh. You don't want to see. Okay, let me show you. Hold on a second. Can you see this person?
No.
You still can't see it. Okay, hold on. One more button. There it is.
Oh. There we go. Yeah, he's a little fucked up. That looks familiar.
I guess it could be him. God, why would he choose that photo?
He probably didn't.
I don't remember what his channel is called. She attacked with a taser. Yep, that's him. Okay, see, I already knew it was gay before it ever turned gay. 10 million.
That was like subs. Dog the Bounty
Hunter.
Tell
me again, people won't watch this shit if it's fake. It says written by ChatGPT right in the fucking description.
Right.
Men don't give a fuck if it's fake or not. That's why they like fake titties. Okay,
I
I
think
win that one.
I think once they find out it's fake, it's different.
You think?
Yeah,
It was
guys
for
believe
me, but I
everything.
don't think so. I'm sure he didn't have 10 million subs when I last looked. He
They were
sure
probably
sure
he
don't know
probably
how was a
gained all
sub.
the subs when he got exposed, and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, this is fine." They, everyone
You're
floods
probably
to see
right.
the train crash.
Gross. He's just a fucking dork playing cops and cops with his dumb dork friends. It's retarded.
Because there was that guy Jeremy DeWitt. He was going around pretending to be a fake cop, with fake like a motor cruiser. He even made it on Dr. Phil. He was such a fucking. He was going. Yeah, I think he ended up going to
Motor
jail for
cruiser.
it.
He had a fake horse. He pretended to be a Mountie.
He named himself Metro Patrol, and he didn't have guns. He just had like flashlights and tasers or pepper spray, and he'd stop traffic and like run red lights. He's like, "Oh, I'm on a mission." I'm like, fuck off, bud.
Hell yeah. Sometimes I wish I was a cop. Sometimes I play cop when no cops are looking.
Easy now.
There's this law where if the stoplight skips you twice for 2 cycles, then you can, if it's safe, you can proceed through it like it's fucking broken. And so sometimes I get to this really long light and I'm like, on my way to the light, I pay attention. No one's around. No one's around. No one's around. And if it's green on my way to it, I'm like, I'm not going to make it. But I pretend it's red. So there's one cycle.
Have you seen the new license plate? What are they called? Mechanisms. So when you have the pay highways where you just drive down the highway, and if you get on there, it takes a picture and sends you the bill. But this new thing, it's like a privacy window that comes up over your license plate. So when you know you're hitting the toll bridge, you hit this little button and it covers your license plate. And then when you're off the toll highway, it drops back down. So you don't pay any tolls. Same as red light cameras. You just put your little thing up.
Okay.
Love it.
You have the money to buy that license plate thing and you don't have 90 cents for the toll?
No, some tolls are, I don't know about America. Some of the tolls in Canada are like $26, $50 to use these.
Okay, I was joking.
Yes.
I know they get up to like $6 sometimes, like in San Francisco. In order to get there, you got to be on this fucking bridge. And I'm like, well, where's the swim option? Where's the I don't want to pay it, I will go the long way option? I'm sure
they don't give you that option. Like to cross the bridge from New Brunswick to PEI is like $60.
Dude, one time I got on a wrong detour or not the fuck, no, I was on the right road, I think. But this detour happened and they were like, you have to go this way. And so next thing you know, on a bridge. And I'm like, well, how the fuck do you get off the bridge? You don't. You got to pay the toll. You flip a U-turn at the end and come back and you actually get a ticket in the mail when you do that. I'm like, I didn't have a fucking choice.
See, if you have one of those little license plate jobbies, I think they're only like $100. Think how many times you could use that. Be a great selling feature for your like resale of your car. Go, hey, look what I got on here.
Never pay another toll.
Like I got a radar detector off of Amazon. It works awesome. $50.
Oh my
Minimum
God.
speeding ticket in Canada is like 120. So it pays for itself.
Hideous said, good morning, by the way. He said, last time I crossed some bridge into New York City, the toll was $46.
Yep. They make it so high because what they're trying to do is get the poor people to take the long way around and the rich people can have the easy, no fucking traffic runs. It's to end congestion. Now they're doing things so you have to pay an extra, you have to get a ticket to drive into the big city. So like in London, and I think they're doing it in Toronto soon, is that you have to buy an extra pass just to be allowed to drive into the city center. So only rich people can go into the city center. I was
watching Top Gear the other night and they were driving, I think in London, and the one guy had to call somebody and pay his congestion fee. I'm like, how
that's the tech. Yes. That's just to be allowed to drive in the city. You have to have a special fucking permit. So you're not free to travel in your own country. Only rich people are allowed to go into the city.
That is ridiculous.
It's coming to every city because it generates money for the state and it only inconveniences poor people. So get ready.
Good morning, Miss Inappropriate. She inappropriately called me at 6:30 this morning, and I called
Make sure you're ready.
Sorry, she's all peppy, like she's, I don't know, winning the world.
She's just starting her shift or just getting off.
Pocket dial. Are you awake? Like, no, bitch. Okay, bye. Actually, she was really nice about it. But she
speaking of offline conversation, I had a pocket text the other night.
I love that. Funny. Hold on. Witchy Bitch said it cost $13 just to go in onto the 407 in
Yes.
Ontario, and then they charge you per exit or kilometer or something.
Right. So you don't, if you just stay on the highway and don't get off at the next exit, it's 13, and then it goes 16, 18, 26. Like, yeah.
Okay. First of all, Witchy says they were getting onto the 407, which is how we say it here in California. We call the roads the. Is that how you say it in Canada? The
Yeah.
something?
Whatever the highway is, the 101, the 406.
Yeah. The rest of the rest of my country doesn't say it like that. They just say on 407. I'm like, what? It's
Oh,
the
really?
407. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't that
Yeah. There's the
strange?
401.
Gotta hop on
So much.
17 to go to 17 to get to 19. Or like, what?
So when I was like 19 or 20, I can't remember how old it was. Anyway, we were driving to Ontario, and my buddy's like, "Man, you got to slow down. We're gonna get a speeding ticket." I was doing 140. I was in the slow lane doing 140. Everybody was
what?
blowing by me on the fast lanes because
Oh, not miles per hour though, right?
no kilometers. So
What's that mean?
I think 100 kilometers an hour is 60 miles. Is that your highway speed limit? 60?
65 in most places.
65. Yeah, 65 is 100.
145 kph equals what in English? Let's ask. You were going 90. Okay. For us,
Okay.
for Americans, 90 miles per hour. And people were zooming past you. That's how it is on the freeways here. It's
because the cops just
90
can't
and
pull you over.
75, and then like
There's too many. There's
they
too much.
can
They're
here.
too fast.
I've been
like,
pulled over by three people by one cop, me and two other assholes, and he was like, I caught you going. He said he caught me going 107 or 104. Wait,
prove
whatever it was, I was going 3 miles faster than the guy in front of me. I'm like, fuck off, you got your radar wrong. I feel
Yeah,
like
how do they pull that off?
yeah, but we all got tickets.
That's
That
why I
was no
love dash
problem.
cams, especially the new dash cams that record your actual speed and like date, time, everything. So you just go to court and go, "Here's my dash cam, Your Honor. Tell that cop
Well,
he's
we
a
were
fuck."
in this stupid little city between California and Arizona. There's like no one who fucking lives there. And so I figure they give a lot of those tickets away, and most people don't show up because who the fuck is going back there? No one.
Right, right. Out of town, out of
$150 to never
province,
go
or out of
back there.
state are the one.
Take
They're
my
like
money.
magnets for your tickets because they know you're not coming back to challenge it. I was
I was just getting off. You live up to your name. When she said that, I thought the same thing.
I didn't say anything. I
En
just
her
left it alone.
Ferrari.
I was watching Joe's stream before this. Poor feller's getting blackpilled watching Congress.
Is he? What did he
Yeah.
say?
Oh, every other word was, "She's bullshit. This is fucked. She's stupid. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I can't believe this. Oh my god."
Who was testifying or speaking?
Oh, they were just crying about racism in schools and how it's all woke progressive needs to take control and they need to give power to the students to, basic communism stuff. They want the students to form their own little groups to monitor other students. So then it's not the school and it's not the government doing the censorship. It's other students doing it to each other because that won't go wrong ever.
That's how they used to do it back in the 60s. Winning Reality did this show on Montagraph. Don't know if you remember, but he was in some kind of like a camp, not a camp, but like a school back in the 70s for kids that were hard to handle, so their parents just sent them away. God,
Down
I wish I could
syndromes.
remember what it was called. But that's what they did. And the fucked up students were the ones who were like the boss. And the I don't know, it was bad. It was such a bad system.
Yeah, the bullies can become the bosses.
Yeah.
That was the whole Stanford prison experiment. They let regular people control other regular people without restriction. And it went psychotic quick.
I forgot to say this yesterday. So yesterday we did a show on censorship and the censorship industrial complex with the government, the social media platforms, and universities. And when I was saying Stanford is shit, I forgot to mention that in this moment right now, their president is resigning. They're looking for a new one because he got caught up in falsifying a bunch of fucking labs that he was part of, a bunch of research papers. And he was like, although I think he says he didn't know. He takes full responsibility for his lab being absolute trash. I'm like, you're the fucking president. You didn't know. Stanford's
you cash them fucking checks, though. He never gave those checks back. And I guarantee he'll get a job at the CDC or the FDA or something. He'll get a new, better job that pays more.
He's just not going to be the president anymore.
Yeah, see, he didn't lose. He still gets the same pay.
Harvard is more shit than Stanford, according to the. Harvard might be a shit institution, but Stanford is just an arm of the government. I don't know about Harvard.
Stanford has become a government entity. Harvard's basically there, if not all the way there, but
Yeah.
Stanford was the first one to be full government, pretend to be a university. Because they did the most.
Sound?
I do not.
Like a humming? Okay, good. You guys were both
Yeah,
watching
Stanford
Joe
did the most
before this.
illegal experiments you could possibly do, to the point where they're like, we can never do these experiments again. They're so illegal. But everybody use our research and send your kids here.
Yeah. Gross. They had a black woman dean literally named Gay. The fuck? Oh. Okay, let's get into our book. We are on chapter 5.
Yeah.
Settle are not giving a book. I'm just scrolling through so we can talk about the chapters. Chapter 1, don't try. Feedback loop from hell, and what's the point of the book anyways? And chapter 1 was don't try to be who you're not. And this was about the feedback loop, where you have to, it sounds counterintuitive, but you have to put in some negative into your current situation to get some good results. It's weird. Chapter 2, happiness is a problem because people don't understand happiness. It confuses their highs for happiness. And when they're happy, they think they're sad or depressed, and they want to always seek highs.
Right. That's like drug addicts. They're happy on heroin, and when they're not on heroin, they're sad and depressed. But the heroin doesn't make them happy. It just makes them fucking drug addicts.
Yeah. Chapter 3, you are not special.
That one's for Darth.
Which is, if everyone was special, then no one would actually be special. And correct. I think it's more like you're not special at everything. Like, you might be good at a thing, and you should find that thing, but because you've been given participation trophies for most of your life, it's probably you're probably not as special as you think you are.
Just because your parents said it doesn't make it true.
Yeah, your mother's a liar. Chapter 4 was last week, the value of suffering, which is
very valuable. Very valuable.
Yeah, very valuable. Go suffer.
Ice bath. Think of it like an ice bath. It sucks. It's horrible. But when you're done, your body fucking comes back. You're way more energy. You feel like $1,000,000 when you're done your ice bath. It's crazy weird, but it's true. And it prevents lactic acid buildup. So if you don't want to be sore after a big workout, ice bath kills your lactic acid. Suffer.
Or don't work out. That's what I do. I do the don't work out so you don't have to ice bath and you never suffer. Complete happiness and high. I get high. Okay. I don't even need the rest of these chapters. We're done. Just kidding. Today we're on chapter 5. You are always choosing. So let's just hop into it. Is this going to be big enough? Oh, look, I can make it this much.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, look at that.
Is that too big or is that shit?
Oh, that's perfect.
What do you think?
No, it's perfect if you're, people can follow along. You just have to scroll more.
Darth has a message for you. It says, fuck you, dumbass. I'm amazing. And he capitalized every first letter of every word. So really, fuck you, dumbass. He's amazing.
You're not special, Darth.
He's amazing. It's better than special. All right, this is one of my, I think this is going to be one of my favorites. I didn't pre-read it, but choice is is something I don't think that we understand. So
I think that's
gonna say it the way I understand
the battle between good and evil. I think that's your little good angel, bad angel. For every choice, everyday life, everything you decide, one of these little angels is going to push you to make your choice. Who do you side with?
And
the
they're
good
both
angel?
Using your voice to talk to you.
Right.
It's tricky.
Chocolate cake's great. Oh, I'm so hungry. That would be so good right now. I'm like, well, you are a little fat there, chubby. Like,
my 7-year-old the other day, we have these nerd rope, but they're like bites, so they're in a little bag, and I noticed that they keep getting less and less. So I put them under the cupboard, just out of sight, out of mind, right? And my son is in there looking for something. I don't know what he ends up getting, but he's getting a snack. But before he closes them, he looks at me. He's like, "My intrusive thoughts are getting in the way." And I'm like, "Well, what are your thoughts?" He goes, "I really want the candy." And I'm like, good, that's good. Like, it's really good to like.
He recognized it.
I told him, like, I love that you're being the boss of your mind right now because you get to control it. And that's so like awesome. He's only 7 and he's already realizing like I mean, that they're there, that he has thoughts that he might, not
And he
want,
can
but that he
recognize that
can
he can
overcome them.
battle or
Yeah.
yeah, he can weigh that thought. Yeah. That's the marshmallow test
Yeah,
for kids.
that's
It tells parents if your kid's going to be successful in life or not. It's the marshmallow test.
yeah, I waited too long to do that for him, but I think he would have eaten the marshmallow. He might even still eat the damn marshmallows. He's like, I'll earn him in a different way. But he would probably have a whole business plan on the other side of why he ate the marshmallows. I'll try it.
You should try it. Say you can eat
Okay.
this marshmallow, or I will give you $10 in 2 days. See what he does.
2 days, yeah, that's the kicker. Because he'd be like, ugh, I don't even believe in 2 days.
Right?
Buy
Two
a
days is a
marshmallow.
long way away for a
Yeah.
kid, right? Or a week. A week's like a year for kids. So you can have $10 in a week, or you can have these 3 cookies today.
A week doesn't even make sense. And you know what? That's, as a parent, that's actually torture for me. Because you know what a week is? I'd have to hear about it about a billion times.
Every
You know what I'm
day.
saying?
5 more
Forget
days.
it. Is
Four
it a
more
week yet? Has
days.
it been a week? How long has it been? How many more hours? How many seconds? Has it been a week? Has it been? Are you lying to me? I still stand by replacing him with the 7. Oh, only 7 and already more mental acuity than Nova. I still stand by replacing him with a 7-year-old as your co-host. That or my dog.
One or the
If
other.
my son was old enough to be on camera, like to make the, like if he was a 13, 14-year-old, then maybe
Yeah,
I would
mentally.
consider it.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have to be my silent co-host.
He'll have to get one of those VTuber face masks so no one can identify him and he can
Oh
talk his
yeah,
shit all
I
day.
did think about that. Mm-hmm. I had thought about that because then
Because
it's
who
just
was it?
his voice and
Shane,
personality.
do you know? No, it was the comedian, the Southern guy. You know who I mean? Really
No,
dumb
Shane?
redneck, long hair, mullet.
Theo Vaughn. He's
Theo,
not
yes,
dumb. He's
Theo.
super
He had
hilarious and smart. In order to be that dumb, you have to be smart for the Recca.
yes, yes. Anyway, he had an interview where he interviewed his 2 nieces and nephews on the camera, and it was hilarious because you never know
I
what kids are going to
remember
say, right?
that.
It's so good.
They were
It was
fucking
funny.
wait, a niece and a nephew? I thought there were 2 boys. Is it recently?
Yeah, yeah, it was 2 boys. My mistake. My mistake. Yeah, it was recently. Yeah, he's
It
like,
was,
so
so
what
he
do you
must
think
have done
about
it
all this?
again.
How do you identify as a attack helicopter? He was like, yep.
Shut up.
About
Okay,
the time.
so
Yes, he did. The youngest one said he identified as an attack helicopter. He goes, yeah,
I
it's about
love
right for the
it.
times. It was a hilarious interview. So yeah, if you wanted to do that with your son, just do like a VTuber mask and no
He
one could see like his actual face and
yes.
just ask him fucked
That's
up
a good idea.
questions.
I love Theo Vaughn. I'm gonna have to go watch
I
that.
wouldn't
That
do it
is above
live
my
just in
alley.
case you have some awkwardness, but pre-record it.
I don't care. The awkwardness is the part that people like. When I might have told you this, when he made a video the other day, he's like, I want to put it on your channel. And I was like, all right.
Oh,
So he records it in
you
here and he puts it on my channel. What he really wanted, all said and done, because it never went
the
public,
hits.
he wanted to comment from his channel. And so I could like it. He wanted to be hearted and pinned. He's like, I've never had a pinned comment before.
Oh,
So I
oh,
first had it private and then I put it unlisted so he could look. He literally walked across the house and put in every letter like capital V, lowercase d, 3, and then went back in and so he could figure out the address to get to the video. And he did it. But when he made that video, the very first thing he said, he was like, he's talking to the YouTube algorithm. He was like, YouTube, don't delete this video. Divinity Said has worked really hard, but I'm not going to use any curse words. This won't be like your average Divinity Said video. I'm like,
too
what?
funny.
Why are you
That's the new
putting
thing.
on
Like kids,
blast?
my nephew and his little sister want to get into the YouTube thing. Like people don't want to do Hollywood anymore. They want to be YouTubers.
Oh, Hollywood's trash. You get to be yourself on YouTube.
Right. If you're
And like
smart.
your mom gets to, you know what I mean? Like I'm the boss of my son.
Well, it's
I
basically
upload
like
his
a
videos.
diary too, right? You can you can get into your kid's own mind just by
Nobody's
watching
gonna
his
make
stuff.
him like do weird scenes. No one's gonna make him do, you know what I mean? Like it's definitely now. I don't think he ever had like any want to be in Hollywood. He wants to make games. He wants to create and make
Yes.
games. And if you were to look at his channel, that's what he's doing. He's using Gary's mod. He's like Gmodding everything, and eventually he'll just be doing that. But this is how he does
I
it
think
so
that's
he
the
can have friends.
new I think
Yes.
that's the new like all the kids meet at the park thing is they do gaming and then they talk to each other while they're gaming without showing their faces. I think that's the new let's meet at the playground. Let's meet on the
Yeah.
game.
Kind of like that's how his VR is. We have the Oculus, and so he'll go
Yes.
into like rec room, and it feels
Yep.
like those are his friends, which kind of cool because you can get on the PC and just watch. You can literally just watch everything he's doing. You can hear it all. You can see it all through his eyes, what he sees. So it's really
Yes.
easy to monitor, way easier than when they're with their
As
real
long
parents.
as, yeah, a good parent's monitoring, yes. Because then it gets into that
Well,
crazy stuff.
he's not allowed to like turn his camera on, and he doesn't have a mic on, so they can't hear our house or what's happening in our house, but we can always hear them. So it's
Yeah,
he
if your
hates it.
mic's
He
plugged
actually
in, it's always like my PlayStation mic is always listening. So
yeah.
when I'm not, I unplug it because it's always fucking listening. Because one day I was talking to somebody, I don't know, it might have been you, and I said PlayStation and it turned itself on. I'm like, that's getting unplugged.
That sucks. That's funny. Okay, seriously, let's get into this.
Yes.
You ready? Chapter 5. You are always choosing. Imagine that somebody puts a gun to your head and tells you that you have to run 26.2 miles in under 5 hours, or he'll kill you and your entire family. That would suck. Now imagine that you bought nice shoes and running gear, trained religiously for months, and completed your first marathon with all of your closest family and friends cheering you on at the finish line. That could potentially be one of the proudest moments of your life. Exact same 26.2 miles, exact same person running them, exact same pain coursing through your exact same legs. But when you chose it freely and prepare for it, it was a glorious and important milestone in your life. When it was forced upon you against your will, it was one of the most terrifying and painful experiences of your life. Often, the only difference between a problem being painful or being powerful is a sense that we chose it and that we are responsible for it.
Right.
True. If you're miserable in your current situation, chances are it's because you feel like some part of it is outside your control. That there's a problem you have no ability to solve, a problem that was somehow thrust upon you without your choosing. When we feel that we're choosing our problems, we feel empowered. When we feel that our problems are being forced upon us against our will, we feel victimized and miserable. True. I think that's why in the other chapter it's like pick your struggle because you're never once you get over that, you're going to have a new one. So
Right.
if you're you'll never feel like your problems control you this way, right?
Yes.
Maybe. The choice. William James had problems, really bad problems. Do you know who William James is?
William James. Doesn't ring a bell.
Maybe it's Billy the Kid. Doesn't that
Oh,
sound like an outlaw name?
yeah, it could be.
Although born into a wealthy, oh, I don't know if that's true. Although born into a wealthy and prominent family from birth, James suffered life-threatening health issues, an eye problem that left him temporarily blind as a child, a terrible stomach condition that caused excessive vomiting and forced him to adopt an obscure, highly sensitive diet. Trouble with his hearing, back spasms so bad that for days at a time he often couldn't sit up or stand upright. Couldn't sit or stand upright. Due to his health problems, James spent most of his time at home. He didn't have many friends and he wasn't particularly good at school. Instead, he passed the days painting. That was the only thing he liked and the only thing he felt particularly good at. Unfortunately, nobody else thought he was good at it. When he grew to adulthood, nobody bought his work. And as the years dragged on, his father, a wealthy businessman, began ridiculing him as his laziness for his laziness and his lack of talent. Okay, this is like
That's
the
rough.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story.
Right.
That's fucked up. Meanwhile, his younger brother Henry James, is that the name of a gun? It sounds like the name of a gun. These are all outlaw names in my brain. Went on to become a world-renowned novelist. Sister Alice James made a good living as a writer as well. William was the family oddball, the black sheep. In a desperate attempt to salvage the young man's future, James' father used his business connections to get him admitted to Harvard Medical School. You're right, Darth. There's Harvard and it's all it's trash.
It's all.
It was his last chance. His father told him if he screwed this up, there was no hope for him. But James never felt at home or at peace at Harvard. Medicine never appealed to him. He spent the whole time feeling like a fake and a fraud. After all, if he couldn't overcome his own problems, how could he ever hope to have the energy to help others with theirs? After touring a psychiatric facility one day, James mused in his diary that he felt he had more in common with the patients than with the doctors. A few years went by, and again to his father's disapproval, James dropped out of medical school. But rather than deal with the brunt of his father's wrath, he decided to get away. He signed up to join an anthropological expedition to the Amazon rainforest. If only, what was that guy, Chandler Halderson? If only he had gone to the rainforest. Instead, he's like, I'm just gonna kill the dad. I'm gonna taste
Whoa, whoa,
scorpions
whoa!
instead.
He had to pretend to work at SpaceX first.
That's true. That's this. This guy never went to that rainforest. This was in the 1860s, so transcontinental travel was difficult and dangerous. If you ever played the computer game Oregon Trail when you were a kid, it was kind of like that, with the dysentery and drowning oxen and everything. The dysentery. Oh, yuck. Did you guys have Oregon Trail in Nova Scotia?
Yeah, I think it was one of those really bad, like 32-bit computer games on like a
Yeah.
Commodore 64.
Mhm. Yeah, that was the first game that they introduced us to in like fifth grade or something like
Yeah.
that.
Here's how you work the keys. You can hit enter or over and enter.
Yeah. I don't remember. I think
I
I
think it would
wonder
be
if
like
we.
a
We're
question
not
and
gonna
you
do it
had to
now.
decide between two things and it would, you know,
Something like that, and you had to like. Didn't you have to kill the things so you could eat and all of that? They were literally
I
turning
don't
us
think
into
it
gamer
I don't think it was that
monsters.
advanced. I think it was more question like,
Mm.
do you cross the river or do you take the long way around and go on the bridge? And if you like, I think it was stuff like that.
Hey, good morning, Fenderlander. Nice to see you. I kind of want to look up Oregon Trail. You know what? I'm gonna look it up in a second window just in case we have time to do this. I won't interrupt the story for that. Oregon
We'll do a
Trail.
playthrough.
Yeah. Well,
How
at
bad
least
would it be
like
if
I
we
want to
couldn't get any
watch.
of the answers right?
Oh wow, that would be hilarious. I
In
actually do think I was
1982,
smarter
who
when I
was the
was in
president of the United
grade school.
States?
Exactly. Only reason I'm smarter is because they just taught me, so I would probably still remember. Now I'm like, hold
It's
on,
like
get my
Trivial
Neuralink
Pursuit.
activated.
You get the old Trivial Pursuit
You know what?
game. Someone brings it out of the closet, and the questioner's like,
I
"Who
have
was on Family Feud in 1973?" Co-host, like,
I
what?
have two Trivial Pursuit games. One is the 90s and one is Star Wars. And I think the Star Wars
Ooh.
will be impossible for anyone to guess. I think one day I'm going to do a Star Wars trivia game that no
Is
one's
it
going to be able
old
to
Star
win.
Wars, or is it
Yeah.
incorporate all that new? If
No,
it's
it's
just the
old
old
stuff.
original three, I think I could kill it.
It's
But
you think
anything
you could
new,
win? I bet you I could ask you one question right now and you'd have no fucking idea. It's
as long
classic
as it's
trilogy
old.
collector's edition.
Yes, give me it. What do you got?
It's
Rip one
old.
out.
One
Rip one
dumbass.
question out. I ain't
I
scared.
gotta
I had it on VHS from Columbia House back when those were like buy 7 VHSs and get one for a penny. Like
Okay, there's a bunch of different colors. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know what
yellow.
the
I don't know.
categories mean.
Doesn't
Yellow?
matter.
Okay. What were Ben Kenobi's first two words in Star Wars?
Oh shit.
Wrong.
His first two words.
You shouldn't have picked yellow.
Are you okay?
Maybe no. How about who did Obi-Wan call his little friend?
R2D2.
Good job. Who drove the land speeder when Luke went looking for R2D2?
Luke.
No.
Ben did?
Mm-mm.
C3PO can't drive. He's a robot.
And now it's where you're wrong. He did drive. Where on Tatooine was Luke attacked by sand people?
On Tatooine, he was attacked at the Sand People's little base thingy. What do you ever call that big? The lunar fields.
No, let me see if anyone knows. 3PO drove dumbass. 3PO, hello, Buck, you're right. It was called the Jundland Waste. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Jundland Wastes. The Jundland Wastes. Okay. Who lost an arm during a scuffle with sand people?
Who lost an arm? Wasn't that Luke? No, he lost that to fucking. Yeah, it was Luke, wasn't it? He was a one-armed man.
Luke is a one-armed man.
Yes. Yeah, he has a
Oh
robot
my.
arm from
Okay.
like the forearm up. Don't you remember that?
Luke does?
Yes. Someone help me. Does Luke have a metal hand?
Chat knows. Even Vicky knows. It's C3PO. This is the only thing that I know. Actually, I thought it was his leg, but I still. Okay, last one. Who described Obi-Wan Kenobi as a wizard and a crazy old man?
Hans.
No,
It wasn't Hans.
it wasn't Han.
Who was it?
It was Uncle Luke. Isn't this cute? This is one of the
I was right.
places.
In Return of the Jedi, Luke gets his hand shot, creating a hole in his synthetic skin, revealing an underneath metal hand. Tell me I knew.
Who lost an arm during a scuffle with sand people? You didn't fucking know. You knew some other time he might have lost some shit. Nice try, loser. 2 spaces
Well, they
back
said
for
who
you.
lost an arm. Luke lost an arm. I just didn't know who
No,
he
they
lost
said
it
who
with.
lost an arm specifically at this time in this card when we're talking about. Nice try. You lose.
Luke gets shot in the hand,
Anyways, you did
creating
better.
a hole.
This was a really easy card. I'm not gonna lie. If I kind of knew some of them, it was easy because I don't know anything about Star Wars except for
Yeah.
that
No,
they
they're
kissed my
fun.
brother and sister. Okay, sorry, chat.
Yeah. That was
Darby hate
incest.
me for that. Luke lost his arm in a lightsaber combat to Darth Vader, and Nova is a retard.
He lost. He got shot in the hand in return. I just Googled it.
Listen, that is not sand, people. It has nothing to do with the card. You can't just win because you were kind of right in a different game. That's not how this works. Save it for the when that question comes up. Okay, back where I was. This dude went to medical school. It was in the 1860s. It was very hard, like worse than Oregon Trail. Anyway, James made it all the way to the Amazon, where the real adventure was to begin. Surprisingly, his fragile health held up that whole way, but once he finally made it, on the first day of the expedition, he promptly contracted smallpox and nearly died in the jungle. And then his back spasms returned, painful to the point of making James unable to walk. By the time he was emaciated and starved from the smallpox, immobilized by his bad back, and left alone in the middle of South America. The rest of the expedition having gone on without him, with no clear way. Those are friends.
See ya.
With no clear way
Dead
to
weight.
get home, a journey that would take months and likely kill him anyways. Wait, I messed that up somehow. With no clear way to get home, a journey that would take months and likely kill him anyway. But somehow he eventually made it back to New England, where he was greeted by an even more disappointed father. By this point, the young man wasn't too young anymore, nearly 30 years old, still unemployed, a failure at everything he had attempted, with a body that routinely betrayed him and wasn't likely to ever get better. Despite all the advantages and opportunities he's been given in life, everything had fallen apart. The only constant in his life seemed to be suffering and disappointment. James fell into a deep depression and began making plans to take his own life. But one night, while reading lectures by philosopher Charles Peirce, James decided to conduct a little experiment. In his diary, he wrote that he would spend 1 year believing that he was 100% responsible for everything that occurred in his life, no matter what. During this period, he would do everything in his power to change his circumstances, no matter the likelihood of failure. If nothing improved in that year, then it would be apparent that he was truly powerless to the circumstances around him, and then he would end his own life. The punchline? William James went on to become the father of American psychology. His work has been translated into a bazillion languages, and he's regarded as one of the most influential intellectual philosophers, psychologists of his generation. Oh, I knew that.
Take a
He
little
would go on to teach at
self-responsibility.
Harvard,
Amazing
and
things happen.
right, like that's what we said earlier in these chapters. It's like it's really, really hard to look in the mirror and tell and be honest with yourself that you're the problem, because
Right.
you're the only thing that's been the constant in your life.
You are the common
You're
denominator.
also able to fix it. If you're able to ruin it, you have the power to fix it as well. Like you picked up those pieces and threw them off, you can get those damn pieces and pick them back up and get them back. Like you
It's
are the
just these
one
little
that's doing the
choices,
shit.
right? It's
Yeah.
just everyday little choices. All you got to do. You don't have to make huge,
Well,
major
your mind
decisions.
is a
Just every day
servant.
make
It's
those.
not your master. Like master your mind,
Right.
master, and it helps you do all the things. I say that a lot. I'm never going to stop saying it.
That's the meditation. That's what people don't understand. They're like, "Oh, you just sit there and be quiet. That's stupid." Like it's different. You have a conversation with your own mind. Like it's, you have an argument with yourself. It's great.
It is kind of great. Okay. He would go on to teach at Harvard and would tour much of the United States and Europe giving lectures. He would marry and have 5 children, of whom Henry would become a famous biographer and win a Pulitzer Prize. Pulitzer, that's It's a weird word. James would later refer to his little experiment as his rebirth and would credit it
Yep.
to everything that he later accomplished in his life. I feel this 1,000,000,000% because there was a
I
point in
did
my life where
this.
I was like super hating people. I was like a super nihilist and not misogynist. What's it? Misanthrope. That's the word for it. But it was
Yeah.
bad, and it started for me with forgiveness, but and eventually got to this point where I had to realize like I am my own problem,
Yeah.
my own
Life's a
fixable
journey. It's
problem. Thank
crazy.
God. Yeah, he
Like
just gives
me,
you the fall
I
is
lost
important.
everything. I lost my athletic abilities. I lost my rugby. Like I lost everything. So I had to like reevaluate from scratch. So when I moved out
Who
here in the woods, I had no
you are
power, no
really.
water, no nothing for the first year. It was just me and my mind.
Yeah,
Changed my whole life.
it
I had
really
to
did
suffer
change my life
to
too.
appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because at first I
Started
was
asking
blaming everyone else.
different
I was like, it's
questions.
my fucking job did it. The healthcare system let me down. Like I picked everyone who I needed like target. Like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
that's why when you do like the real forgiveness, you realize like, oh, I'm not forgiving them. I'm forgiving myself for acting this way, for behaving
Right.
in these ways, for accepting
Making
certain
picking the
things, for
wrong
thinking
choice.
all of the things. Like, yeah. Okay. There is a simple realization for which all personal improvement and growth emerges. This is a realization that we individually are responsible for everything in our lives, no matter the external circumstances. Correct. We don't always control what happens to us, but we always control how we interpret what happens to us as well as how we respond. Yes. Whether we consciously recognize it or not, we are always responsible for our experiences. It's impossible not to be. Choosing to not consciously interpret events in our lives is still an interpretation of the events of our lives. Choosing to not respond to the events in our lives is still a response to the events in our lives. Even if you get run over by a clown car and pissed on, okay, hold on. Even if you get run over by a clown car and pissed on by a busload of school children, it's still your responsibility to interpret the meaning of the events and choose a response. Response instead of a reaction. That's a huge one.
Right.
Like, give yourself those
Yeah.
2 seconds to respond and to think instead of just an immediate reaction.
Yeah. Play out your reaction in your head and then choose which one was probably going to work out better in the long run. Should I snap or should I just sit here and smile? I'm like, well, if I snap, I'm going to get arrested. So maybe I'll just sit here and smile.
Whether you like it or not, we're always taking an active role in what's occurring to and within us. We are always interpreting the meaning of every moment and every occurrence. We are always choosing the values by which we live and the metrics by which we measure everything that happens to us. Often, the same event can be good or bad depending on the metric we choose to use. The point is, we are always choosing whether we recognize it or not. Always. It comes back to how, in reality, there is no such thing as not giving a single fuck. It's impossible. We must all give a fuck about something. To not give a fuck about anything is still to give a fuck about something. The real question is, what are you choosing to give a fuck about? What values are we choosing to base our actions on? What metrics are we choosing to use to measure our life? And are these good choices, good values, and good metrics?
Right.
Right. The responsibility fault fallacy. Oh, this is what we are kind of talking about. This is interesting. Years ago, when I was much younger and stupider, I wrote a blog post, and at the end of it, I said something like, and as a great philosopher once said, with great power comes great responsibility. It sounded nice and authoritative. I couldn't remember who said it, and my Google search had turned up nothing. When I stuck it in there, but I stuck it in there anyways. It fit the post nicely. About 10 minutes later, the first comment came in. I think the great philosopher you're referring to is Uncle Ben from the movie Spider Man. Another great philosopher once said, don't. With great power comes great responsibility. The last words of Uncle Ben before a thief whom Peter Parker let get away murders him on a sidewalk full of people for absolutely no explicable reason. There. Oh, that great philosopher.
See, you made
Still,
a choice.
we've all heard the quote. Actually, I didn't know that's where it come from. It gets repeated a lot, usually ironically, and after about 7 beers. It's one of those perfect quotes that sounds really intelligent, and yet it's basically just telling you what you already know, even if you've never quite thought about the matter before. With great power comes great responsibility. It is true. But there's a better version of this quote, a version that actually is profound, and all you have to do is switch the nouns around. With great responsibility comes great power. The more we choose to accept responsibility in our lives, the more power we will exercise over our lives. Accepting responsibility for our problems is thus the first step to solving them. Bum, bum, bum.
Right.
Forgive yourself
Digest
for
your
being an
problems,
asshole.
then fix them.
Accept responsibility for your problems. There's probably somebody out there who's like, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. And they're probably right.
Yeah.
So I wonder how that's going to work. Because there are
It's not
some.
my fault I got drunk and lost my job. It was all these internet
But
weirdos
what if
telling me.
someone smashed your car? Like, what if a drunk driver hits you and you lost a leg? You know, and now that it's like that's a problem that you probably don't feel responsible
Why
for.
was I on the road? Where was I going? Was I going to get some
I hope they
tail?
tackle shit like that because that is interesting. I wonder if isn't it maybe in the last chapter they talk or did they talk about that? Like some suffering is physical and the rest, the other suffering is like how we handle things. So responsibility, you don't take responsibility for the accident. You take responsibility for how you let it affect you, I
Right.
guess. That's what you're
Yeah.
responsible for. You're only responsible for yourself in the equation. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It's like veterans who get their legs blown off in the war. Like they tried. If I never would have joined the military, this never would have happened. Like, no, dude.
Yeah, like imagine that you decided before you ever came here that you needed to only have one leg. This is one of the only ways to get there, buddy.
Right. Now you're a
Now just
Paralympic gold medal champion,
yeah,
paraplegic, or
or
no, Paralympic. Yeah, that's it.
you're a
And
champion, whatever it is.
paraplegic. Other sports for quadriplegics? Like, what do they do?
Stanley, oh, Homer Simpson. There are millions, probably billions of these people out there. Every communist ever met shares this trait. Almost every woman I've ever met. Just saying. Um,
Have you
Sports
tried
should have
going
been
gay,
Stanley was
Darth?
really gross. What?
Every woman he's met, I was like, have you tried going gay?
Uh, Someone clip that. I once knew a man who was convinced that the reason no woman would date him was because he was too short. He was educated, interesting, and good looking. A good catch in principle, but he was absolutely convinced that women found him too short to date. And because
Well,
he felt that he was too short, he didn't often go out and try to meet women. The few times he did, he would home in on the smallest behaviors. Home? Is the word home or hone? Whatever.
home in.
Home in on the smallest behaviors from any woman he talked with that could possibly indicate he wasn't attractive enough for her, and then convince himself that she didn't like him even if she really did.
I'll
As you can
dump her before she
imagine,
dumps
his
me.
dating life sucked, right? What he didn't realize was that he had chosen the value that was hurting him, height. Women, he assumed, are attracted only to height. He was screwed no matter what he did. This choice of value was disempowering. It gave this man a really crappy problem, not being tall enough in a world meant, in his view, for tall people. There are far better values that he could have adopted in his dating life. Like, I want to date only women who like me for who I am. Might have been a
Yeah.
nice place to start. A metric that assesses the value of honesty and acceptance. But he did not choose these values. He likely wasn't even aware that he was choosing his value, or could do so. Even though he didn't realize it, he was responsible for his own problems. Despite that responsibility, he went on complaining. But I don't have a choice, he would tell the bartender. There's nothing I can do. Women are superficial and vain and will never like me. Yes, it's every single woman's fault for not liking a self-pitying shallow guy with shitty values, obviously. A
Right.
lot of people hesitate to take responsibility for their problems because they believe that to be responsible for your problems is also to be at fault for your problems. Responsibility and fault often appear together in our culture, but they're not the same thing. If I hit you with my car, I am both at fault and likely legally responsible to compensate you in some way. Even if hitting you with my car was an accident, I am still responsible. This is the way fault works in our society. If you fuck up, you're on the hook for making it right, and it should be that way. I agree.
Right. It's like Ron
Sneak.
DeSantis wearing his fucking platform shoes because he can't be a president unless he's tall.
Good morning, Miss Block. What do you say?
Ron DeSantis got exposed for wearing platform sneakers and platform cowboy boots. because he can't
But
be
when
president because he's short. That's what he thinks.
wait, do you think that is his value? Do you think he really is wearing his tall boots so that because he thinks he has to be like a higher
Yep.
stature?
There's no reason. If you're being a president has
Okay,
nothing to do with your height, so why are you putting lifts in other
let me
than
show you this. Did you know that Kanye got remarried?
what?
Dude, I
To a
promise
human?
you. I think she's human. She doesn't really look all that human, but her name's Bianca. But hold on. I saw this picture of Kanye yesterday when where is it? It's him and his wife. I swear to God, here it is.
Let's see.
He's wearing a shirt with
What
muscles built in.
what in
I
the
don't know what the fuck
actual
she's
fuck?
wearing,
He's wearing
but don't he look buff?
spandex ninja
What is
boots. What in the fuck is this? Got to be AI. This just can't be real.
it's
I know
real,
he's
dude. I
bipolar and
watched him adjust
schizophrenic.
that stupid thing on her. That's his wife.
That's her slave collar.
He
That's
married her,
AI.
whatever. He needs the collar.
Why? What's wrong with her skin?
What's wrong with what? Her skin?
Her skin.
She's wearing a nothing's wrong. She just doesn't want mosquitoes, I guess. That's how I see it.
What's on her head? That's not a
The
human
mosquito
head.
net. What the hell? Who cares? What is Kanye wearing right here? Is this a Peter Pan audition?
No, this is AI.
This is scuba gear? Why does he have muscles built into his fucking shirt? This is like those nipples Kim put on her bra. This is a no. No.
Wait. Zoom in. Does that say FUBU? No.
No, it says police or some shit.
No.
I can't. How come I can't zoom in on this? Here we go.
If you wear
Yep.
spandex yoga pants as a man, you gay. If you wear ninja boots, you're taking dick from anything.
He does look like he was scubaing. He must have been doing some. I don't know what the fuck she was doing. She wasn't at the scuba meeting, but whatever. Yeah, okay, just saw that yesterday. I'm glad I shared because I don't remember why at all. Sorry about that. Basically, he got problems. He's not
How
he's
come he's not
responsible for
wearing his
that.
Yeezy big fucking Mario boots?
So since Ye is broke, didn't he qualify for alimony from Kim? Wait, Ye's broke?
No, he's got too much. He's got fucking $100 million or more.
I think he was a billionaire.
Yeah. And he's not fucking getting married to somebody without prenups and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
fucking right, dude. Yeah, fucking right. He's crazy. He would absolutely do that because love. He's all
Crazy
cause feels.
stupid though.
What?
Kim's lawyers wouldn't have let him get married without a prenup.
Kim's lawyers don't have shit to do with Kanye.
When they were getting married, they probably
Oh,
had
well, he
hey.
ain't married to her now. He might have had a prenup with her, but he doesn't.
Right.
I mean, I don't fucking have any idea about his life with
So
this
how would
nigga.
he?
I just
No,
know he
that's
was
what I mean.
married
How would he
yesterday.
lose money if she didn't take all his money? How would he go bankrupt? He's got all kinds
Well,
of
his
fucking
money,
fires.
he's like an. He could have been. His shit could have been worth more because of his alliance with the Kardashian clan. So who knows? His value could have gone down. But I mean, you never know. He said
He's
all
still
that Jewish
stupid, right?
shit in fucking City. Who was it? It's not Citibank. Was it Citibank?
Might have been
Whoever it was, they froze his accounts and wouldn't let him like bank. No, it's Chase. Chase
Chase.
Bank.
Yes.
Ye is AI, pretty sure. He lost all his contacts and such. Oh, she's just being silly. You don't send us down a rabbit hole for no reason.
Not hard
Okay,
to
here we
do.
go. Yeah. But there's also a prop. I'm gonna go back just a little. Even if hitting you with my car was an accident, I'm still responsible. This is the way fault works in our society. If you fuck up and you're on the hook, you are on the hook for making it right, and it should be that way. But there are also problems that we aren't at fault for yet. Yet we are still responsible for them. For example, if you woke up one day and there was a newborn baby on your doorstep, it would not be your fault, but the baby had been put there, but the baby would now be your responsibility. You would have to choose what to do, and whatever you ended up choosing, keeping it, getting rid of it, ignoring it, feeding it to a pit bull, there would be
Little
problems
extreme.
associated with your choice. And you would be responsible for those as well. Judges don't get to choose their cases. When a case, I think yesterday we decided that people get to
kind of
choose their judge.
backroom cases. Yeah.
When a case goes to court, the judge assigned to it did not commit the crime, was not a witness to the crime and was not affected by the crime, but he or she is still responsible for the crime. Kind of not,
What?
though.
Mark, come
Yeah.
on now.
He's responsible for the listening to the trial, I guess. The judge must then choose the consequences. He or she must identify the metric against which the crime will be measured and make sure that the chosen metric is carried out. We are responsible for our experiences that aren't our fault all the time. This is part of life. Here's one way to think about the distinction between the two concepts. Fault is past tense, responsibility is present tense. Fault results from choices that have already been made. Responsibility results from the choices you're currently making every second of every day. You are
Yes.
choosing to read this. You are choosing to think about the concepts. You are choosing to accept or reject the concepts. It may be my fault that you think my ideas are lame, but you are responsible for coming to your own conclusions. It is your fault that I chose. It is not your fault that I chose to write this sentence, but you are still responsible for choosing to read it or not. There's a difference between blaming someone else for your situation and that person's actually being responsible for your situation. Nobody else is ever responsible for your situation but you. Many people may be to blame for your unhappiness, but nobody is ever responsible for your unhappiness but you. This is because you always get to choose how you see things, how you react to things, and how you value things. You always get to choose the metric by which to measure your experiences.
Right. Like your
True.
girlfriend breaks up with you, you don't go, "Oh, my poor broken heart." Like, bitch's loss. Next up. It's how you
I
handle it.
mean, sometimes you get to do the broken heart thing. The first time that you ever had a broken heart, it literally feels broken. You're like, oh my God, I
Yeah.
didn't know it could do this.
But
Yeah.
it's like the same
My
thing
first
eating
girlfriend dumped.
eating some hot wings. The first wing's really hot, but then you just keep going. And
Nope. Mm-mm. That's not how I do it. The first wing is hot. I throw all of them away and complain for
have you
20
ever
minutes.
watched that hot wing challenge show with Buddy?
Mm-hmm.
He does the celebrities. Shaq's was pretty funny. Some of them are hilarious.
I saw a really funny one. I can't remember who it was though. I was fucking dead.
Some people
Yes,
tap out. Most people make it.
I wouldn't make it.
I don't think I'd make it either. I'd like to try, but I don't do spicy really. But it'd be fun to try.
I don't even know if I'd want to try.
Oh,
Oh,
there we go,
it
chat.
hurts
Chat, we
so
got her. We
bad.
got her. Here we go, chat. 24-hour stream.
Mm.
She does the hot wing challenge.
That's that sounds awful, but it would take a
Hour
lot of my time.
23. It'll see hour 20 something there. It'll wake you back up. You'll be able to end on a good slobbery note.
I'm crying, mad, very sad, never
Happy it's
interneting
over.
again.
Happy it's over. You can finally end the stream and go bathe.
Delete my channel. I delete my channel before I do that, probably.
That would be a funny show though.
Wow.
Have like a bunch of different channels all do this because I think you just order this little basket and it has all your different ones. So you just
Yeah.
so everybody does it at the same time. That'd be a good show.
Yeah.
Bring in the new year.
Runkle and Law and Lumber did that, I think.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. I clipped it.
Was it good or funny?
I thought it was amusing, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
Runkle wasn't reacting. He was just eating them like they had ketchup on them.
Yeah, he's Canadian. He's weird.
I did the Buffalo Hot Wing Challenge right after breaking my foot. It was an interesting evening. Yay is AI, the Supreme Court. No.
So for the spicy lovers out there, when it's so spicy that snot runs down your face and your eyes are watering and you can't really breathe, is that taste good? Or are you just like holding on and suffering and then getting the pleasure after you suffered?
They're like, if they didn't have spicy food, they'd just be cutters. These people are fucking weird, man. They just want to feel alive.
Oh, there's a clip, chat. Get that one.
Something like that. My first girlfriend dumped me in spectacular fashion. She was cheating on me with her teacher. It was awesome. And by awesome, I mean, it felt like getting punched in the stomach about 253 times. To make things worse, when I confronted her about it, she promptly left me for him. 3 years together, down the toilet, just like that. I was miserable for months afterwards. That was to be expected. But I also held her responsible for my misery, which, take it from me, didn't get me very far. It just made the misery worse. See, I couldn't control her. No matter how many times I called her or screamed at her or begged her to take me back or made surprise visits to her place or did other creepy and irrational
Creepy.
ex-boyfriend things, I
Yeah.
could never control her emotions or her actions. Ultimately, while she was to blame for how I felt, she was never responsible for how I felt. I was. Are you listening,
Right.
chat? She was to blame, but she was not responsible. That's interesting. At some point, after enough tears and alcohol, my thinking began to shift, and I began to understand that although she had done some terrible things to me, no, done something terrible to me, and she could be blamed for that, it was now my own responsibility to make myself happy again. She was never going to pop up and fix things for me. I had to fix them for myself. When I took that approach, a few things happened. First, I began to improve myself. I started exercising and spending more time with my friends whom I had been neglecting. I started deliberately meeting new people. I took a big study abroad trip and did some volunteer work, and slowly I started to feel better. I still resented my ex for what she had done, but at least now I was taking responsibility for my own emotions. By doing so, I was choosing better values, values aimed at taking care of myself, learning to feel better about myself, rather than aimed at getting her to fix what she'd broken. By the way, this whole holding her responsible for my emotions things is probably part of why she left in the first place. More on that in a couple of chapters. Bum, bum, bum. Then, about a year ago, something funny began to happen. As I looked back at our relationship, I started to notice problems I had never noticed before, problems that I was to blame for and that I could have done something to solve. I realized that it was likely that I hadn't been a great boyfriend and that people don't just magically cheat on somebody they've been with unless they are unhappy for some reason. I'm not saying that this excused what my ex did, not at all, but recognizing my mistakes helped me to realize that I perhaps hadn't been the innocent victim I'd believed myself to be, that I had a role to play in enabling the shitty relationship to continue for as long as it did. After all, people who date each other tend to have similar values, and if I dated somebody with shitty values for that long, what did that say about me and my values? I learned
Bingo.
exactly. I learned the hard way that if the people in your relationships are selfish and doing hurtful things, it's likely you are too and just don't realize it. In hindsight, I was able to look back and see warning signs of my ex-girlfriend's character, signs I had chosen to ignore or brush off when I was with her. That was my fault. I could look back and see that I hadn't exactly been the boyfriend of the year to her either. In fact, I had often been cold and arrogant toward her. Oftentimes I took her for granted and blew her off and hurt her. These things were my fault too. Did my mistakes
Yes.
justify her mistake? No. But still, I took on the responsibility of never making those same mistakes again and never overlooking the same signs again to help guarantee that I will never suffer the same consequences again. I took on the responsibility of striving to make my future relationships with women that much stronger. And I'm happy to report that I have. No more cheating girlfriends leaving me. No more 253 stomach punches. I took responsibility for my problems and improved upon them. I took responsibility for my role in that unhealthy relationship and improved upon it with later relationships. And you know what? My ex leaving me while one of the most painful experiences I've ever had was also one of the most important and influential experiences of my life. I credit it with inspiring a significant amount of personal growth. I learned more from that single problem than dozens of my successes combined. Exactly.
Exactly.
So when you take your suffering and learn from it, now all of a sudden it's not bad. It's a net
Failure's
positive.
a failure's a great learning tool. People don't like what was Edison? I learned how to not make a light bulb 1,000 times before I got it right. Like
Edison was a thief.
you're just saying that because he's
That
white.
was probably a Tesla quote somewhere. We all we all love to take responsibility for success and happiness. Hell, we often fight over who gets to be responsible for success and happiness. But taking responsibility for our problems is far more important because that's where the real learning comes from. That's where the real life improvement comes from. To simply blame others is only to hurt yourself.
Right.
My dog is needing my attention. I'm gonna find a dope song for you to listen to. I promise. Not like yesterday when I left you with your dick in a box.
Dick in a box would have been better than what we got yesterday.
There's an equivalent. Okay. How do I find this song? Would you like?
Yeah. Every time something bad happens in your life, just think how you can turn that lemon into lemonade and then add vodka.
I found it.
Here we go, chat. Buckle up.
Okay. It's only 1 minute. I really did think it was going to be longer. This is obviously might be like a parody of it. Here we go.
Uh-oh. I knew it. How did I know it was going to be Christmas? Christmas with tendies in the front.
I work at Burger King making flavor whoppers. I wear paper hats. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with
Gareth, when did you get
that?
a singing
Ding by the
contract?
done, ding by the done, ding by the done, ding by the done. I gotta run, I gotta run, I gotta run, I
She's
gotta
so
run.
cruel,
Don't
chat.
bump the
Why
in
do we
half,
keep coming
got a
back to this
bitty hurt
abuse?
bad and so the skin grabs. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that?
Actually, I would like an
Where
apple
is the
pie.
bell? Wait for the bell. Can't hear the bell. Where is the bell? Ding by the done, ding by the done, ding by the done, ding by the done. I work at Burger King making flavor whoppers. I wear paper hats. Would you like an apple
I
pie
wonder if
with
this is the guy
that?
who
Would
sued
you
Burger
like
King
an apple
because the
pie with
Whoppers weren't
that?
the
Ding by the done,
advertised
ding by
size they
the
were
done,
supposed to be.
ding by the done. Ding by the done.
I just came back and you were fucking talking through the whole thing. Damn
I
it.
tried.
Oh my god, does that not funny to you? You're responsible for that not being funny.
Darth made the video. I had
That is
nothing to
funny.
do with it.
Darth didn't even comment. That was you. Okay, back to our book. Responding to tragedy. That really didn't make you laugh. Something's wrong with you. You broke it.
Oh, I
Would you
laughed.
like an apple pie with that? Ding, fries are done. Ding, fries are done.
Hey,
Oh,
if there's
that stays in
anyone
my
that can laugh at retarded people, it's me.
Them's your
They're
people.
like my guilty pleasure amusement, like King Cobra, Cyrax.
The mirror.
YouTube's just feeding me special needs retards all the time, and it's fucking glorious. And look at those guys. They're never sad. They're not fucked. Their life is horrible. They're always happy. It's all your perspective. Nobody would trade their life with somebody that has Down syndrome ever. But I guarantee you, they're happier than a lot of people are.
I guess. Good morning, first one shot.
Morning.
We're on chapter 5, about choosing. You're always choosing, and
I think there was a town or a city. They did a study in India where they removed labels or brand names from everything, so you didn't get a choice. You went in, you could buy flour, you could buy milk. Like you couldn't buy a brand name of anything. You could only buy the product. And I think the happiness in that community went up like 40% because they didn't have to choose things anymore. They just bought the, do I buy the good flour? Do I buy the expensive flour? Do I buy the brand name flour? Like those stupid questions. I think everyone's done that in the grocery aisle. Like, oh, do I get this can or this can? Like, So either way, you think you're going to make the wrong decision. But if you don't have a choice, you just buy the flour.
It's fucked up, right? Because at the grocery store, it's like choice overload. But then in like politics, it's the illusion of choice. So it's like this weird relationship that we have with choice that we don't know that we understand.
It's weird, right? Too much choice is bad. Too little choice feels bad.
Having to make the choice is bad.
Stressful.
If you never had to do it, like it's the real world.
Am I picking the wrong one? Like when your girl texts you and say, "Can you pick me up some tampons on your way home?" Like, shit. Do I get the supers? If I'm a dude, I want the super ones. Like, we don't fucking know. Either way, our choice is going to be wrong.
Wait, what makes you want the super one?
Because super's better, isn't it? That's what guys think. I want the super duper premiums, gold plated. Right? We don't fucking know.
And she
I just killed Divinity.
Awesome. That's so funny because I'm not gonna get into the tampon, how they measure tampons and how they get their names and shit, but that's hilarious. As a woman, that's
I know now because I dated a girl who told me.
And she liked the supers, or did you go home?
No, she was Asian. She was Asian, so they don't have like the selections.
Small one.
She needed the small ones, and where she comes from, they don't have that. They just have the one kind. She's like,
wait, what?
They don't have fat bitches in the Philippines. They don't really have fatties in the Philippines.
Dude, it's not about being fat. Super doesn't mean you're fat.
No, it means you bleed more. But if your body is 5 times larger than somebody else's, you need 5 times more absorbent.
True? Oh my god! Oh my god! That's disgusting. I never thought about that.
So if you're a 100-pound girl, you're not gonna lose as much liquid as a 500-pound girl.
That's fucking gross. I hate that you
Hence
just said that. I hate
the
you.
super American sizes.
Do
She
we
couldn't
care
believe
about
it. She was
toxic
looking at it. She goes, "Who are these for animals? What are these for?"
Yeah.
Fat
First,
bitches.
first shot said, "Do we care about toxic shock for tampons or not?"
Oh, I have a story about that too, but that's pretty gross. Maybe maybe we'll get into it another day.
What the fuck said that is not true? Oh, Vicky said that's not true. Size doesn't change flow. Okay, the women clearly they know what they're talking about. You're an idiot, Nova, but I really think you're right. You're a doctor like I'm a doctor. Or just common sense, you just apply it right across the board, and you're
Right.
like, oh wow, you have a
Okay,
giant
so
uterus.
all joking
It's gonna
aside,
take
I
17
think
days to bleed this bitch
from
out.
my man from my man logic, a small tampon is for a little light flow. Means light flow means less
Yes.
liquid, and a super means a lot of
Yes.
liquid. So a 500-pound
Right.
woman is definitely going to produce more liquid.
But your flow is different during different days of your like you could have a morning that's heavy and a night that's light. So I don't know that they're related to how big the person is.
Do we get any fatties in chat? Do you guys do fatties buy, what are the small ones called? Slims? What are they called?
Of course. Think about
Slim?
like if a fat person gets cut on their arm, do they bleed the same or more because they have more blood?
They could live longer bleeding out before they die. Fuck yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think they
If I
live
shoot
the
if I
same
shoot a
6
100-pound
minutes.
110-pound Asian girl with a 22 in the leg, and I shoot a 500-pound American girl with a 22 in the leg, the Asian will die first.
What? That's not true.
The volume of blood in your body is gargantuan compared to a 100-pound girl. If you're a 500-pound girl.
This is ridiculous.
Where's your
So glad
sister?
you
We
brought
need,
that
we
up.
need some medical advice in here.
Yeah, I need a paramedic. Is there a paramedic in the house? No, but how about small porn stars with giant holes?
What? How did we get onto that?
Woo! It is spicy. Yeah.
This
Nova's still
rabbit
in the
hole.
gay camp. Didn't he just ask if they're oh wait, never mind. Let's keep going.
Yes.
You ready? Responding to tragedy. But what about really awful events? A lot of people can get on board with taking responsibility for work-related problems and maybe watching too much TV when they should really be paying attention, playing with their kids or being productive. But when it comes to horrible tragedies, they pull the emergency cord on the responsibility train and get off when it stops. Some things just feel too painful for them to own up to. But think about it. The intensity of the event doesn't change the underlying truth. If you get robbed, say you're obviously not at fault for being robbed. No one would ever choose to go through that. But as with the baby on your doorstep, you are immediately thrust into responsibility for a life and death situation. Do you fight back? Do you panic? Do you freeze up? Do you tell the police? Do you try to forget it and pretend it never happened? These are all choices and reactions you're responsible for making or rejecting. You didn't choose the robbery, but it's still your responsibility to manage the emotional and psychological and legal fallout of the experience.
That's the Canada Goose epidemic going on in the States right now. Do you know about that?
I don't think so.
Washington, D.C., they're robbing all these people for their Canada Goose jackets. And now people are like, don't wear your Canada Goose jacket or you'll get robbed. So it's your fault for wearing your nice jacket out, is what they're trying to say. Is what the police told everybody. Just stop wearing your nice clothes outside and you won't get robbed. It's your fault.
Canada Goose jacket. I gotta look it up. Canada Goose jacket.
It's like a whole thing now. They're worth like $1,700.
Ish.
No, they're getting the full length ones from the girls. Because why women wear skirts in winter, I don't know.
She's a feminine queen.
I mean, the coats are worth it. They're incredibly warm.
And that's the label. That's how you know you.
That's
need
how.
to
Yeah.
rob it.
So when they see that label, the thieves are just going after those people. So they were interviewing people in Washington, like, maybe I should just take the patch off my jacket. And they're like, well, then nobody would know I'm rich. Like, yeah, bitch. You're trying to advertise that you have money, or you're trying to stay warm.
For the making of that.
No, it's down feathers. They're geese. They're Canadian geese. You guys don't care. They shit everywhere.
You said, Vicky said, you mean like wearing something slutty so she deserved it? If you're getting Vicky riled up right now, I'm gonna
I
fire you
didn't
from
bring
next Monday's
anything
show.
up about that. I was talking about Canada Goose jackets and the epidemic that they're being stolen from people in Washington, D.C.
I think this might be residual of the fat lady getting stabbed.
Who stabbed the fat lady?
You shot her in the leg.
That's a 22. Yeah, she's going to live longer than the skinny girl.
No, she's really not. My sister, she actually
Beautifully.
told me that.
Tell us. If you shoot a fat person and you shoot a skinny person with
Dude,
the
I'm gonna
same
see if she's.
caliber
I'm gonna tell her come back to chat
in
with
the
that
same
question.
place, does the fat person... I'm telling you, there are fat people who've been shot in the gut and they didn't even know it.
But that's shock. That's not because they're
No, it's because they're so...
anything
They
else.
just... Their body just absorbs it. It's just like they stepped on a
No,
pill.
no. Is that true? No. You awake? We have questions.
Right.
Now,
There's
when
no...
she
You
gets
can't kill
here,
enough geese. It's impossible to kill all the geese. They're like flying large rats. They're horrible. They
when
attack
she
you in Canada. If you're walking down the street, they would literally go up and attack you.
body fat does not change blood volume. Take that. What does that have to do with me? You're just a dummy. No, he meant to say inappropriate. He had a brain freeze in the moment. He meant to say inappropriately said, but he said beautifully.
Yes. That was my mistake.
He's as good. Oh, she's here.
Ah, see? We
Okay.
just had to call it Beetlejuice.
If there's a skinny woman, 100-pound woman gets shot in the leg, and a 500-pound woman gets shot in the leg, will the 500-pound woman live longer because she has more blood? Did I phrase the question right, Nova?
Yeah, that sounded pretty good.
You made them Asian and American. I feel like that's irrelevant.
Well, Asians aren't fat, so.
Nova is a hard R retard.
I'm Canadian. That's
Out of
offensive.
blood. Yeah. I didn't know that blood, or I don't know that it's blood that bothers me, but I saw somebody getting an IV and the lady kept missing. Like it starts blowing up, and I was like, oh shit,
That's
I had
not
to
good.
sit down. I start drooling. I was like, I didn't know that this could affect me. Watching somebody get stuck with a needle.
I learned that if you watch the person put the needle in your arm, it hurts less than if you don't watch it. There was a study or something that they did a study where your brain will actually, if it knows pain is coming, it will send like a little endorphin boost to kind of minimize the pain. It's weird. So if you watch the needle go in, it's less painful than if you turn your head and don't look.
Wow, they should teach phlebotomists that. They'd be like, look away, and they love your pain. Those bitches.
Yeah, the psychos.
Vampires. Did she answer yet? I'm here for a question. That was your question. Could you please let us know if people that are bigger get to live longer, or they have the same 6-minute
She might just be getting the question now. She could be on a delay, or she's Googling it.
She actually might not have the show on live, so I don't know.
You have to have more blood in your body to get around to all these, like, there's not I'm just making this number up. There isn't 10 liters of blood in a 100-pound girl and 10 liters of blood in a 500-pound girl. That's just not true.
You're making it up, though.
Just like we're not born with the same brains. Our brains aren't the same sizes. Our hearts aren't the same sizes.
No, but the men's brain is the same size in all of men's.
No, my little head, my brain is smaller than...
I see what you're saying. Our organs are proportionate to our body, our frame.
Yes, so the blood volume should be proportionate to the size volume.
Yes, but it's not an exact science. It's about 7 to 10% of your weight.
Yeah, see, I'm right.
That doesn't feel right. I need to get her on here. I feel like she's...
So the fatty's going to live 10% longer than the skinny person. Because they have 10% more blood in their body.
It's not an exact time. It's about 7 to 10% of your weight. So your blood volume is 7 to 10% of your weight. So you're right. Then if you only weigh 100 pounds and you're 10% blood by volume, and if you're 500 pounds and you're 50
thank you
liters of blood or something to that effect.
Chat, apologize, chat. I was right.
They're not saying, don't you dare chat. Don't you cook in front of me, chat. I'll fucking end the show. Just kidding.
Suffer and you'll be rewarded down the line.
We never apologize. We're not sorry. You figure out how to deal with this. You're responsible for us being sorry. Make us sorry in your own mind. Dib's 7-year-old brain is bigger than Nova's. This is probably a fact. Are women's brains really smaller than men's? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it's just
But we still
proportion
use
size.
more than y'all, probably. And just because it's
Yeah, it
bigger doesn't mean anything.
brain size doesn't mean you're smarter or dumber.
There's the disclaimer. Sorry, I forgot about that. Thank you, Hideous.
Right? Cows have bigger brains than deer do, but deer are smarter.
Huh. Okay, let's keep going. In 2008, the Taliban, how would we say it? Taliban, that's how I say it.
Terrorists.
The Taliban, I want to say it like that though. The Taliban took control of the Swat Valley, a remote part of northeastern Pakistan. That's how I'm going to say these. They quickly implemented their Muslim extremist agenda. No television, no film, no women. Okay, I can't do it. No women outside the house without a male escort. No girls attending school. Wait a minute. Did they say Pakistan?
Yes.
I'm going.
Pakistan has nukes.
No television, no films, no women outside without an escort, and no chicks in school. Here.
They don't have beef either, or
I don't
weed.
give a shit about beef. No
or
weed.
weed.
I'm out. You can grow weed though. That shit will just grow. Do they have a sun? The sun. Water.
Afghans have some weed, but I don't think Pakistan. I think it's illegal.
Is that true?
Alcohol. There's no alcohol there.
I'm okay with that. Again,
I'll
drink
you're
wine.
you're given your husband, and he can have 5 wives, and you.
That's fine. Less talking you have to do.
What if you're just the breeder?
Nope, I don't pick that one. I don't pick that one.
You don't get to pick. You're a Muslim.
I'll drink whatever. Listen, I pick that. I choose not to pick that one, and I'm gonna make that happen.
Did you see the? I think it was the Wall Street Journal. Some white girl from New York thought that the Taliban were just like you and me, and they're not racist and they're not mean. She's gonna backpack and hitchhike across to Afghanistan to prove everybody wrong, and got beheaded.
Oh, I didn't know about the beheaded part. I just thought that, yeah, I knew it went bad for her, but yikes.
Yeah, it went bad.
Didn't we talk about that? Like, I think you might have presented that. Is that her responsibility?
Yes, that was during that argument debate thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why this sounds a little bit familiar to that. I think that's where Vicky's one comment came from about her wearing the wrong thing.
Yes.
Because personal responsibility. Some of the examples we're giving are probably not perfect. So read the book. Mark Manson's better at this. Do they call it Kush there?
Hindu Kush.
Ragweed. It's a ragweed.
Ragweed is a plant, marijuana family.
Oh, there you go. They call it talweed. By 2009, an 11-year-old Pakistani girl named Malala Yousafzai.
She's the Greta Thunberg for the Muslims.
The fuck she is. She's way better than Greta. Cheers.
Her
Malala
only
got shot
accomplishment
straight
in life.
God was like, nope.
The only reason people know she exists is because someone shot her in the face.
No. The only reason they know she exists is because she lived.
Right. After someone shot her in the face.
And it is important to them because she's going to say, I think she was on her way to school. I think that's why let's read. By 2009, an 11-year-old Pakistani girl named Malala had begun to speak out against the school ban. She continued to attend her local school, risking both her and her lives. She also attended conferences in nearby cities. She wrote online, "How dare the Taliban take away my right for education." In 2012, at the age of 14, she was shot in the face as she rode the bus home from school one day. A masked Taliban soldier armed with a rifle boarded the bus and asked, "Who is Malala? Tell me or I will shoot everyone here." Malala identified herself, an amazing choice in and of itself, and the man shot her in the head in front of all of the other passengers. Malala went into a coma and almost died. The Taliban stated publicly that if she somehow survived the attempt, they would kill both her and her father. Today, Malala is still alive. She still speaks out against violence and oppression toward women in Muslim countries. Now, as a best-selling author, 2014, she received a Nobel Peace Prize for her efforts. It would seem that being shot in the face only gave her a larger audience and more courage than before. It would have been easy for her to lie down and say, "I can't do anything," or I have no choice. That, ironically, would still have been her choice, but she chose the opposite. A few years ago, I had written about some of the ideas in the chapter. Hold on, do you want to talk about Malala for a second?
It depends. I have offensive takes on this situation.
Oh, okay. I I guess it's up to you then. Do you not want to give us your
No,
opinions of
I'm
takes?
well, okay. I
Okay,
feel bad. I feel bad for her personally, in that yes, she was doing the right thing and trying to get an education. However, you know you're in Taliban country. You know the Taliban are going to kill you and your family and your siblings if you don't fuck off. And then you're like, nah, 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 I'm gonna do what I want anyway. Well, bitch, you could have got your
No,
parents, your entire family slaughtered.
that's where you're a little bit off though, because her dad encouraged her to go to school and taught her all of the time throughout growing up that women aren't less than. So it's not that she was like, I just want to. He was like, you need to, and you deserve this. He understood the risk as well, and he taught his daughter this way.
I think she was turned into an American propaganda thing the same way the Democrats turned Greta Thunberg into a fucking eco-Nazi propaganda tool. In my personal opinion, I feel bad for
Yeah.
her, and I think she did do good things, but
Get shot in the face because she was a girl that wanted to educate herself, and like
she could have
whatever.
said,
We
that
might
girl
have
called in sick today. She didn't go to school today, and not got shot in the face.
Yeah, but she understood that they would have killed everyone on the bus. She chose to accept that
She
she
didn't know
was
that.
the one they were looking for. You don't believe that part?
No.
You
I don't
don't, do you
believe the
think that
entire
this
story.
Taliban guy
I
who
don't believe
shot
her
this little
whole
girl,
story. I don't
14-year-old
believe her
girl,
book.
point
I
blank,
think
shoots
it's
her in the face, he wouldn't have killed
I don't
anyone else
believe
on the
any
bus?
of
He was
it.
just bluffing?
I don't believe any of the story.
Oh, you saw the
Honestly.
pictures. You've never seen the pictures?
No, yeah, I know she got shot in the face, but I think the whole story's been romanticized away from the actual truth of the
Yeah,
matter.
probably. Perhaps.
That's that kernel of
Perhaps.
truth, and then they that's my
I don't know.
offside takes.
She's pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool. And I found that as like one of those things where if
Do you think she
it's
wrote a
not
book?
your
She has
time,
no
it's not your
education. Do you think she
time.
actually wrote a book that won a Nobel Prize?
She
The
did
same
have an
stupid,
education. She was going
the
to
same
school
dumb
since
prize Obama
'09,
got for
right?
bombing a wedding party?
First of all, you don't have to go to school to know how to read or write. I think you can. Those are things that you can learn if somebody's giving you any attention. She did go to school, so the fact that she could write doesn't surprise me
I don't
whatsoever.
believe it.
I could tell.
At the
But I
Peace
would not
Prize,
compare her to Greta. Greta
I
is
don't
a
believe
fucking
any
cunt.
Peace Prize after Obama got his. So as soon as I see that, I kind of like throw everything away. Oh, she got a Peace Prize like Obama got a Peace Prize, so I disregard
Yeah, I know.
most of
They
it.
did kind of screw themselves by doing that.
And I used to think Nobel was like a really prestigious award. Like these are good people. Like you got a real Nobel Peace Prize. That's honorable. And then Obama got it. I'm like, oh, this is fake. Fuck it.
He got it, yeah. Greta is spoiled and entitled activist. Entitled, yes. We learned about entitled in the last chapter, I think, with the guy called Jimmy. You are not special. Was that the last chapter? I think so.
Yes.
And that those entitled people are shitbags. This girl was an actual activist. In my city, kids graduate and can't read or write.
Right.
Oh, that is sad.
I think America, was it your math scores? I think have dropped below like 1960s levels.
We could talk about that on a different show. We can actually talk about that on Monday if we don't have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, that'd be
The
great. Yeah.
Department of Education, because I know
It's,
what study you're talking about, and it will be interesting for us to argue about that. I'm not gonna lie, because I
yeah,
read the
for sure.
study and it was so cherry picked for some of these
Yeah.
articles. I'm like, these motherfuckers. It's frustrating because Americans are not on par with the world, but we are not doing worse, and our immigrants are actually doing way fucking better than you would have
Yes,
expected.
that's
Just
100%
so
true.
much about
American
it.
immigrants are vastly superior to Americans in
For shots
getting
at
an
Common Core is
education.
ridiculous. Defund the DOA. I'm with the defund the DOA. I don't think Common Core is ridiculous. First shot, do you go on panels? Do you come
What
on
is
shows?
Common Core?
Common Core is where the kids like you have to. So before you had to get out of like third grade, you had to learn how to write in cursive, right?
Okay.
And
Oh, about like a bar set.
you're right. So in Common Core, you just have to know you have to know X amount of things before fifth grade, like so that you don't get left behind as easy. It's part of the No Child Left Behind, so you won't get
Yes.
left behind as easy. But you don't because some kids are going to learn how to read and like they're just great at it and they're going to know in kindergarten. Some are with math and some are science. Whatever their thing is, eventually they will pick up the other things, but they're not held back anymore. They stay with their peer group and then they're tested. So it's all these standardized testing. And so the school gets money if they do well, but the school also gets money if they don't do well. So it's interesting It's a lot. There's a lot of like nuance to it.
Yeah,
It's a
no, it's
but
crazy.
see, Common Core sucks if you're a parent and don't want to be a parent because it requires participation from home.
I think that's
I
the
don't.
whole thing now too. In the new generation, is kids, the people having children now are just like, it's the government's job. My only job is to feed the motherfucker and house it. Like, I think
Not
parents
now,
are kind
not
of
now.
just
That's how it's been since the 90s. It's not now.
the
We are
90s. Yeah,
experiencing it as adults. We can examine it now, but it's not new. Our
no,
parents,
you're right. Yeah, no, we're just noticing it's coming to light more now.
I mean, hello, we did Oregon Trail. They put us on video games and then 30 years later like this is a problem. Wait, what? Like, it's not us that have created this problem. It's not us, our parents. I mean, it is. We do have the responsibility for it, but we were handed a problem that we thought we couldn't deal with. And I don't know. I feel like
I think in
more people will
reality
get
they
there.
should put a ban on schools that have more than 1,000 kids. You once you get too
In
big,
reality, they
then
should give school choice. They should send a
that
check to
yes,
me, to every parent, and then
yes,
I get to choose. Because
100% agree.
suddenly the teachers have they're held accountable probably from the principal and the board because not because their scores are low, but because their attendance is low because the teachers are trash.
Right. And then
That's the way
then
I think
instead of
about
blaming the
it.
teachers, they arrest the parents for the kids not going to school.
Indeed.
But yeah, that'll be a great show. We'll
Indeed.
do that one.
That would be fun. That would be. Big cities are to blame too. Common Core makes zero sense to me. So when I started homeschooling my son 2 years ago, I had to look into Common Core and what that meant. And that's why I always thought it was trash because I think my mom told me, like, I just feel like it was something that I agreed with because people said it. And then I looked into it and I was like, oh, I
Oh,
might have been a little wrong about this. As a parent who has children in the school system still in every level of it,
yes.
I feel like I'm not like I have a voice I can say more, but I feel like like the practicality of Common Core is maybe not
Well,
the
if you
word.
say too
But I
much
also,
stuff, you'll be on an FBI watch list for domestic terrorism
I
if you
mean, I
speak against the
read part
school
of the
board.
Declaration of Independence yesterday about throwing off our government, so I'm pretty sure they know our names.
Oh, for
And
sure.
from what I've seen with my own kids, Common Core is trash. That's how most groupthink works. Yeah, that's the problem. Groupthink is definitely a big deal. It's like I think that's why people feel that I'm abrasive because I always ask why. And it's frustrating to a lot of people because they don't know why they think the things that they think and are
Exactly.
mad at me for it. I'm like, what?
Oh,
I was just trying to
I
get on your
that's
page.
my biggest thing. Like if questions upset you, then there's something wrong with you. I'm just trying to learn more. Like, why do you think? Because. Like, oh, you're just
Yeah.
fucking. Like, no, just tell me why. Like, I'm just trying to understand, and that bothers people because they don't even
Hmm.
fucking know why they think it. They're just
Yeah.
regurgitating shit.
Yeah. And it's hard for people to say, somebody told me and I believed them. Like,
I saw it on the
practice in the mirror
TV.
saying that. Someone told me, I repeated it, I was wrong. It's not going
Right.
to hurt. It's actually fucking empowering as shit to be like, wow, I was wrong. What's the information to replace this wrong? Most people don't even have it. They just know you're wrong. They're assholes. They could both be wrong
Yeah.
together. But
Yep.
sometimes you get somebody who knows you're wrong and knows the thing to replace it with some truth, and you both get to grow.
Right. That's why I don't like when you fact check me. People are like, don't you get mad at that? I'm like, no, not at all. I'm either gonna win or I'm gonna win.
Right,
I'm gonna
exactly. Because you
learn
give
or
people
I'm gonna be
permission.
right.
Yeah. Okay, we are done with Malala. We're going to keep going. A few years
Yes.
ago, I had written about some of the ideas in this chapter on my blog, and a man left a comment. He said that I was shallow and superficial, adding that I had no real understanding of life's problems or human responsibility. He said that his son had recently died in a car accident. He accused me of not knowing what true pain was and said that I was an asshole for suggesting that he himself was responsible for the pain he felt over his son's death. This man had obviously suffered much pain greater than most people ever have to confront in their lives. He didn't choose for a son to die, nor was it his fault that his son died. The responsibility for coping with that loss was given to him, even though it was clearly and understandably unwanted. But despite all of that, he was still responsible for his own emotions, beliefs, and actions. How he reacted to his son's death was his own choice. Pain of one sort or another is inevitable for all of us, but we get to choose what it means to us and for us. Even in claiming that he had no choice in the matter and simply wanted his son back, he was making a choice, one of many ways he could have chosen to use that pain. Of course, I didn't say any of this to him. I was too busy being horrified and thinking that yes, perhaps I was in way over my head and had no idea what the fuck I was talking about. That's a that's a hazard that comes with my line of work, a problem that I chose and a problem that I was responsible for dealing with. At first, I felt awful, but then after a few minutes, I began to get angry. His objection had little to do with what I was actually saying, I told myself. And what the hell? Just because I don't have a kid who died doesn't mean I haven't experienced terrible pain myself. But then I actually applied my own advice. I chose my problem. I could get mad at this man and argue with him, try to outpain him with my own pain, which would just make us both look stupid and insensitive. Or I could choose a better problem, working on practicing patience, understanding my readers better, and keeping the man in mind every time I wrote about pain and trauma from there on. And that's what I've tried to do. I replied simply that I was sorry for his loss and left it at that. What else can you say? Yikes.
What
I
do you
love
think?
that he thinks about him though.
Yeah. What do you think about the people who do that? That try to one up your pity level? Like, oh, I broke my leg. Oh, I broke 2 legs. What do you think about those people? Like, what's the goal? Like, I suffered more than you, so I'm more special.
No,
Like,
I honestly think the goal is like camaraderie is not the word, but it's like relation. Like they're trying to
one
relate.
upsmanship.
I don't know if
Because
it's one
because people
upsman.
do it
It
with good
might come
things too,
across
right?
as
Like,
that.
I hit a home run in my first
Yeah.
baseball. Oh, I hit 5. Like,
Or what if it's not that? What if it's just I broke my leg? Oh, I broke my leg too. I think people just want to relate. I don't know if it's one upsmanship. Is it one upsmanship? Is that a real
sometimes,
thing?
not all the time. Like sometimes, oh, I broke the same thing. And then you guys laugh about it. But I think when people try to, mine was way worse. Oh, I had to suffer way more than you do. People, I think there's like a one up some victim status somehow. Oh yeah, well I had to get stitches. Oh, I had an infection with mine. Like, okay, we still both broke our
But
legs.
is that one upsmanship? I feel like that's who your not we'll just say you. I think that's your ego on the side on your side of it going, yours is worse and now you just one upped me. Instead of them going, oh dude, I had stitches. Well, I fucking had a sepsis. Oh shit, dude, I lost my grandma. You're like, wait, how do we get here? Because I don't know that it's one ups. I think when I think that
Not all
goes
the
into
time,
the
but I
mind of the
find some
listener.
people do that, and it's those people do it all the time with everything. No matter what your story is, it's theirs is a little bit better.
I don't know a little bit better. I think that's people's inability to listen. People,
That's
I
true.
do it
That's
all
true.
of the time. I've been trying. It's active in my life in this moment, in this where I'm at in my world, to not interrupt with my shit. Somebody be like, oh my God, my dog got out. I'm like, my fucking dog got out too. And it's like, why am I interrupting your story to tell my story? It's really fucked up. It's like the worst kind of like interaction to have, in my opinion. I hate it
Yeah.
when it happens to me and I do it nonstop. So I'm not trying to one up, and it might even sound like I am if my story happens to be better, which who knows? I didn't even let you tell your story. So
I don't.
I
Yeah.
do
Oh, I don't
think
mean
that's
like
a
sharing
huge problem.
stories. I mean just those individuals who they have to do better than you. Not they're not
Yeah.
sharing an experience. They're making sure that you know that they had it worse than you did.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the point. They might have just had it worse than you, and you're like, damn it, I'm complaining about something that's not that bad. And so you feel like shit. So you decide they're a one upsman instead of,
That's true
and
too.
I don't know. Back to this. Genetics and the hand we are dealt. In 2013, the BBC rounded up half a dozen teenagers with obsessive compulsive disorder and followed them as they attended intensive therapies to help them overcome their unwanted thoughts and repetitive behaviors. There was Imogen. Imogen? Imogen?
Where?
What?
Where you at? Oh, that's a name, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
How
it's
would you
a
say it?
Imogen.
Imogen. There was Imogen, a 17-year-old girl who was had a compulsive need to tap every surface she walked past. If she failed to do so, she was flooded with horrible thoughts of her family dying.
Oh,
Whoa. I didn't know
have you
that
seen
side
those
of
light
it.
switch people? They gotta
Mm-mm.
like turn the light switch on and off 17 times or something bad will happen.
That sucks. There was Josh, who needed to do everything with both sides of his body, shake a person's hand with both right and left hand, eat his food with each hand, step through a doorway with both feet, so on. If he didn't equalize his two sides, he suffered from severe panic attacks. And then there was Jack, a classic germaphobe who refused to leave his house without wearing gloves, boiled all his water before drinking it, and refused to eat food not cleaned and prepared himself. That sucks. So, yeah, OCD is a terrible neurological and genetic disorder that cannot be cured. At best, it can be managed. And as we'll see, managing the disorder comes down to managing one's values. So if this is what real OCD is, I'm a whole asshole for ever saying I had OCD.
There's levels to
Like I have
OCD.
makeup smeared across my face, I'm like, oh, my OCD. Bitch, no, that's
Yeah.
just because you're a regular person.
Yeah. I think there's a spectrum.
There's clearly a spectrum, but I didn't understand that this was even on the spectrum. That's what I'm trying to say. And
Oh
without
yeah,
tapping the relation to the thoughts of the family dying, that I didn't realize was happening. That's sad.
yeah. They'll sit like Dr. Phil. They'll sit there and they have to turn this light switch on and off so many times in a row. And if they don't do it rhythmically, like if they do one with like a kind of a shaky, they have to restart and do it all over again. And they will stay there. They'll miss their job. They'll miss their bus because they have to get that just right, or they just freak out. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Sports athletes do it too all
neurological.
the time, right? They're superstitions.
The superstitions are way different though.
But yeah, they're the mild. They're like the very bottom of the fucking OCD level.
Yeah. The first thing the psychiatrists on this project do is tell the kids that they are to accept the imperfections of their compulsive desires. What that means, as one example, is that when Imogen becomes flooded with horrible thoughts of her family dying, she is to accept that her family may actually die and that there's nothing she can do about it. Simply put, she is told that what happens to her is not her fault. She's told what happened. Okay. Josh is forced to accept that over the long term, equalizing all of his behaviors to make them symmetrical is actually destroying his life more than occasional panic attacks would. And Jack is reminded that no matter what he does, germs are always present and always infecting him. That's fucked up. What they did to Jack
Yeah,
is
they do.
fucked
It's
up.
cognitive behavioral therapy now to try and manage it.
The goal is to get the kids to recognize that their values are not rational, that in fact their values are not even theirs, but rather are the disorders, and that by fulfilling these irrational values, they're actually harming their ability to function in life. The next step is to encourage the kids to choose a value that is more important than their OCD value and to focus on that. For Josh, it's his possibility of not having to hide his disorder from his friends and family all the time, the prospect of having a normal functioning social life. For Imogen, it's the idea of taking control over her own thoughts and feeling and being happy again. And for Jack, it's the ability to leave his house for long periods of time without suffering traumatic episodes. With these new values held front and center in their minds, the teenagers set out on intensive desensitization exercises that force them to live out their new values. Panic attacks ensue, tears are shed, Jack punches an array of inanimate objects and then immediately washes his hands. But by the end of the documentary, major progress has been made. Imogen no longer needs to tap every surface she comes across. She says, "There's still monsters in the back of my mind, and there probably always will be, but they're getting quieter now." Aw. Josh is
She
able to
trained them.
go periods of 20. She's deciding to be the master of her mind.
That's it. She trained. She made
That's
them
what's
her
happening.
bitches. Her little monsters are
Josh
now
is
her
able to go
bitches.
periods of 25 to 30 minutes without equalizing his behaviors between both sides of his body. And Jack, who makes perhaps the most improvement, is actually able to go out to restaurants and drink out of bottles of glasses without washing them first. Jack sums up well that what he learned. I didn't choose this life. I didn't choose this horrible, horrible condition, but I get to choose how to live with it. I have to choose how to live with it. Way to go, Jack. A lot of people treat being born with a disadvantage, whether OCD or small stature or something very different, as though they were screwed out of something highly valuable. They feel that there's nothing they can do about it, so they avoid responsibility for their situation. They figure, I didn't choose my crappy genetics, so it's not my fault if things go wrong. And it's true, it's not their fault, but it's still their responsibility. Back in college, I had a bit of a delusional fantasy of becoming a professional poker player. I won money and everything, and it was fun, but after almost a year of serious play, I quit. The lifestyle of staying up all night staring at a computer screen, winning thousands of dollars one day and then losing most of it in the next wasn't for me, and it wasn't exactly the most healthy of emotionally stable means of earning living. But my time playing poker had a surprisingly profound influence on the way I see life. The beauty of poker is that while luck is always involved, luck doesn't dictate the long-term results of the game. A person can get dealt terrible cards and beat someone who has dealt great cards. Sure, the person who gets dealt great cards has a higher likelihood of winning the hand, but ultimately the winner is determined by, yep, you guessed it, the choices each player makes throughout play. Oh, I love that analogy. I see life in the same terms. We all get dealt cards. Some of us get better cards than others, and while it's easy to get hung up on our cards and feel we got screwed over, the real game lies in the choices we make with those cards, the risks we decide to take, and the consequences we choose to live with. People who consistently make the best choices in the situation they're given are the ones who eventually come out ahead in poker, just as in life. And it's not necessarily the people with the best cards. Amen. There are those who suffer psychologically and emotionally from neurological and or genetic deficiencies, but this changes nothing. Sure, they inherit a bad hand and are not to blame. No more than the short guy wanting to get a date is to blame for being short, or the person who got robbed is to blame for being robbed, but it's still their responsibility. Whether they choose to seek psychiatric treatment, undergo therapy, or do nothing, the choice is ultimately theirs to make. There are those who suffer through bad childhoods. There are those who are abused and violated and screwed over physically, emotionally, and financially. They are not to blame for their problems and their hindrances, but they are still responsible, always responsible, to move on despite their problems and to make their best choices they can given their circumstances. What's up, buddy? Hold on a second.
I can read it. Hey, she's got to scroll down. There we go. Perfect. And let's be honest, if you were to add up all of the people who have some psychiatric disorders, struggle with depression or suicidal thoughts, have been subjected to neglected or abused, have dealt with tragedy or the death of a loved one, and have survived serious health issues, accidents, or trauma, if you were to round up all of these people and put them in a room, you'd probably have to round up everyone, and I can't scroll down any further. So yes, chat, you can fix your problems. What's that girl's name? Every time Divinity would read OCD, it reminded me of the meme of that girl. What's her name? Amy's Life on YouTube. She's like a big fatty who goes on a diet every 2 weeks and then asks people money for diet stuff and then gets fatter. Yeah. Anyway, someone super chatted her and she was talking about having OCD and they super chatted, you don't have OCD, you have obesity. And it caught her so off guard that even she had to have a little chuckle at it. It was pretty funny.
Sorry about that.
And she's back.
It is cold. My son he knocked on the door and then he pointed to the table and there was a note that said, "Do it, please." And
upload your video.
he wanted juice.
Oh.
I like it's funny that he said PLS
You
for
send
please.
notes.
Boy, don't talk internet to me. Do it, please.
They call that kites
Okay.
in prison, don't they? You write it and slide it under the table to somebody or under the door.
I don't know prison slang. I never been.
Me either.
My buddy Rock had OCD when it came to leaving his home. He had to check every ashtray bowl and bong 47 times to make sure they were actually cold. Oh shit! I never thought about that.
Do bongs
God
heat
damn,
up?
that would be the worst. You're like, did I put my cigarette out? Did I lock the front? I actually don't have OCD, but one time I flew to Utah from Phoenix and I left my car at the airport. And at some point, like a day later or something like that, I remembered that I couldn't remember if I locked my car. So
Yes.
I eventually had to figure out a way to call the parking garage and get them to figure out where my car was to tell me it was locked. It was the worst.
It does
It's the
because it
worst
eats
feeling when
you.
you're not
It eats
sure.
at you.
You're like, fuck, there's nothing I can do about it.
And
But,
of all the cars in the parking
see
lot,
what I just did?
are they really going to check yours?
Did I just
Like,
one up him? Wait, I can't hear you.
no, you're
Is it
good.
me?
You can't hear me?
Oh no.
Marco. Maybe she muted me. I'm talking.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me now? Did your batteries run out? Marco Polo. I think we all have a little bit of OCD, actually. I think it's just like some people ignore it and some people work with it. Like Elon Musk, he's OCD. He's one of those crazy people.
Can you guys hear Nova okay? Can you hear
I
me
can
at
hear
all?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can kind of hear you. You sound like Charlie Brown's mom. Wah, 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 wah. It's got to
What
be
about
me.
now?
I walked away and something bad happened. Damn it.
Are they
I don't know
Bluetooth?
how to
What,
fix it.
low battery? Yeah, they can still hear me. I can hear you.
Beautifully can still hear you. Maybe I'll switch.
So you can just pretend like you're not listening to me, and it'll be normal show. Can you hear me now, Marco?
Let's see if this will work.
Marco Polo. I think
Ooh,
you're
yeah.
wrong, Garth.
Can
I
you hear
think
me still?
everybody has some volume or some level of OCD.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yep, you're coming in
You
good.
can. Oh my god, you guys are. I can hear you perfectly right now. I love these headphones.
Yeah, no, you were coming in. Everyone could hear
Oh
you,
yeah,
could
both
hear me.
ears.
You just couldn't hear me.
That was Jesus trying to do me a favor. Thank you,
That's what I said.
Jesus.
Just
I see
continue with the
what you
show.
did
No one
there.
will notice because you can still talk and I can still talk. You just can't hear me.
I could hear some kind of weird like
I
I
wonder
could
if your
tell you
battery
were trying to say something.
was it
You know,
charged? Not charged?
there's
Maybe, I don't know.
there's no battery. It's just I need a new. Oh wait, can you still hear me?
Yep, yep.
That's weird. I had a girls' night one time with my girls, and I like put out my recliner, my lazy boy, and I had everything all balancing wonky, and then at one point my mic smashed the floor. Boom. And in the
Ah,
mic is where I put the speakers out through the mic, so I fucked it up.
gotcha.
Okay, sorry. So you read this already? Yeah?
Just down to the bottom line, then I couldn't go any further.
Probably have to round up everyone because nobody makes it through life without collecting a few scars on the way out.
Yes.
Sure, some people get saddled with worse problems than others, and some people are legitimately victimized in horrible ways. But as much as this may upset us or disturb us, it ultimately changes nothing about the responsibility equation of our individual situation. Got it. Victimhood chic.
Right.
The responsibility fault fallacy allows people to pass off the responsibility for solving their problems to others. This ability to alleviate responsibility through blame gives people a temporary high and a feeling of moral righteousness. Unfortunately, one side effect of the internet and social media is that it's become easier than ever to push responsibility for even the tiniest of infractions onto some other group or person. In fact, this kind of public blame shame game has become popular. In certain crowds, it's even seen as cool. The public sharing of injustices garner far more attention and emotional outpouring than most other events on social media, rewarding people who are able to perpetually feel victimized with ever growing amounts of attention and sympathy. Victimhood chic is in style on both the right and the left today, among both the rich and the poor. In fact, this may be the first time in human history, that every single demographic group has felt unfairly victimized simultaneously, and they're all riding the highs of the moral indignation that come along with it. Right now, anyone who is offended about anything, whether it's the fact that a book about racism was assigned in a university class, or that Christmas trees were banned at the local mall, or the fact that taxes were raised 0.5% on investment funds, feels as though they're being oppressed in some way and therefore deserve to be outraged and to have a certain amount of attention. The current media environment both encourages and perpetuates these reactions because, after all, it's good for business. The writer and media commentator Ryan Holiday refers to this as outrage porn. Rather than report on real stories and real issues, the media find it much easier and more profitable to find something mildly offensive, broadcast it to a wide audience, generate outrage, and then broadcast that outrage back across the population in a way that outrages yet another part of the population. This triggers a kind of echo of bullshit, pinging back and forth between two imaginary sides, meanwhile distracting everyone from real societal problems. It's no wonder we're more politically polarized than ever before. The biggest problem, that's the illusion of choice. Yeah, but it's all the same shit. You think you're choosing something, you're not. You're choosing the same shit.
Right.
The biggest problem with victimhood chic is that it sucks attention away from actual victims. It's like the boy who cried wolf. The more people there are who proclaim themselves victims over tiny infractions, the harder it becomes to see who the real victims actually are. People get addicted to feeling offended all the time because it gives them a high. Being self-righteous and morally superior feels good. As political cartoonist Tim Kreider put it in a New York Times op-ed, outrage is like a lot of other things that feel good, but over time devour us from the inside out. And it's even more insidious than most vices because we don't even consciously acknowledge that it's a pleasure. Eee.
Doom scrolling.
Is that what it's called? When you're just looking for the death stories?
Yeah, it's just fucking. That's it, man.
But part of living in a democracy and a free society is that we all have to deal with views and people we don't necessarily like. That's simply the price we pay. You could even say it's the whole point of the system, and it seems more and more people are forgetting that. We should pick our battles carefully while simultaneously attempting to empathize a bit with the so-called enemy. We should approach the news and media with a healthy dose of skepticism and avoid painting those who disagree with us with the broad brush. You hearing this, Nova?
Who?
The broad brush. Put down the broad brush. We should prioritize values of being honest, fostering transparency, and welcoming doubt over the values of being right, feeling good, and getting revenge. These democratic values are harder to maintain amidst the constant noise of a networked world, but we must accept the responsibility and nurture them regardless. The future stability of our political system may depend on it. Okay, fair. There is no how. A lot of people might hear all of this and say something like, okay, but how? I get that my values suck and that I avoid responsibility for all my problems and that I'm an entitled little shit who thinks the world should revolve around me and every inconvenience I experience, but how do I change? And to this, I say in my best Yoda impersonation, do or do not. There is no how. Wait, then they say try here. Try. I don't know how to say it. We are already choosing in every moment of every day what to give a fuck about. So change is as simple as choosing to give a fuck about something else. It really is that simple. It's not just easy. How do I change? The answer is just do it. He should have went with Nike instead of Yoda.
Copyright.
It's not easy because you're going to feel like a loser, a fraud, a dumbass at first. You're going to be nervous. You're going to freak out. You may get pissed off at your wife and your friends or your father in the process. These are all side effects of changing your values, of changing the fucks you're giving, but they are inevitable. It's simple, but really, really hard. Let's look at some of these side effects. You're going to feel uncertain. I guarantee it. Should I really give this up? Is this the right thing to do? Giving up a value you've depended on for years is going to feel disorienting, as if you don't really know right from wrong anymore. This is hard, but it's normal. Next, you'll feel like a failure. You've spent your life measuring yourself by that old value. So when you change your priorities, change your metrics, and stop behaving in the same way, you'll fail to meet that old trusted metric and thus immediately feel like some sort of fraud or nobody. This is also normal and also uncomfortable. And certainly, you will weather rejections. Many of the relationships in your life were built around the values you've been keeping. So the moment you change those values, the moment you decide that studying is more important than partying, that getting married and having a family is more important than rampant sex, that working a job you believe in is more important than money, your turnaround will reverberate out through your relationships, and many of them will blow up in your face. This too is normal, and this too will be uncomfortable. It's got
Change
to
the
get
color of
bad
your aura.
before it gets better. These are necessary, though painful side effects of choosing to place your fucks elsewhere in a place far more important and more worthy of your energies. As you reassess your values, you will be met with internal and external resistance along the way. More than anything, you will feel uncertain. You will wonder if what you're doing is wrong. But as we will see, this is a good thing. Oh shit, that's the end.
Right? Because you're doing
Next
something
week-
new. Of course it's going to feel weird. It's supposed to feel weird. It's new.
Yeah, so next week we're going to figure out why we're wrong about everything. But this week we're going to grapple with the fact that we are wrong and we can choose what we want. What is it? We can choose how we deal with being wrong. We can choose with how we deal with being hurt. Every emotion, good and bad, we get to choose how we deal with them.
Right.
And elevating happiness to the level of highs fucks with your happiness and actually eliminates it. Now you no longer have happiness. You're chasing highs, and it
Chasing
probably,
the
I don't know,
dragon.
it's all
Like a
bad.
drug addict.
This I like this last part. Let's look at some of these side effects. You spent your life measuring yourself by your old values, so when you change your priorities, change
The
your metrics and
metrics is
stop being the
big, right?
same way. Yeah, it makes sense though, right? You're like, every day you're gonna wake up and be like, I forgot something. And that feeling of like forgot something is it's like it's a nagging
Yes.
feeling. And the thing is, you did forget something. Write it down, write it on your fridge or something. You forgot to be a fuck ass today.
Right.
Fuck ass. I don't know if I ever said that before. But you forgot to be a shitbag today. You are forgetting how to be the person you don't want to be. That's a good thing to forget. And so when you go, what did I forget? Oh, I feel weird. I haven't met my metric or this new value. It's you did, and that's a good thing. You should forget
Right?
it. It is gonna feel weird because the person you want to be is on the other side of that.
It's like you trying to measure yourself using the metric system.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It's
I
stupid.
don't. Yeah, that sounds stupid.
use the proper metrics for what you want to be. If you
This
don't
is a
have
good one.
if you don't have your own house with like a 2-car garage and 3 kids, that's not your metric to measure up to. That's not who you are. If that's your goal, and you'll never be happy unless you have that TV fucking keep up with the Joneses thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're never
Yeah,
gonna be happy because that's not even in your
well,
world.
because you've decided that the biggest TV, it means you're the happiest.
And you can
And I
guarantee if you
don't
get that house 2-car garage, you're gonna hate it because it's not what you wanted. It's what TV told you wanted,
right. Or your
which
value
comes with
told you, like you could have just woke up. You just could have. It might not be the TV. It could be your parents and the situation that you've
right,
been in. Maybe they taught you your whole life that happiness is in things. You just have to break out of that value. You have to redefine your own values for you. And maybe you will choose a lot of your parents' values, your grandparents' wisdom and values, or your friends, or some books, or some Mark Manson values, whatever it is. You're not, people need to realize like they're not beholden to the values that were put on them before they even realized they were choosing them. If you realize it today, if today you're 50 years old and you realize what these values are, today you can change them. It's not too late.
right. Like
That's, I think, important.
draw yourself on a piece of paper. Like, I'm gonna make a robot version of yourself, like you're making a comic book, and draw the values in that you want, and go, how can I like start to change those to my side of the piece of paper, and then you become what you want.
Yeah, write down your values, right? Like
The
just
hardest
do
part's
like a
identifying it.
yeah, well, exactly. A lot of people don't know what they are and then decide like how do they align, keeping, do a pros and cons list. That's old school, but that works.
Yeah, it does. Like, well, like you, when you asked me like about religion, like what religion am I, or like, what brand?
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know. I just know that there's something, and I have a moral direction. I take morals from something. I don't know who or what, or but I feel
Mhm.
that's my moral direction on paper.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know that I don't know. That's a big ball of wax
Kettle.
because you definitely don't know which God you believe in, but you
Right.
definitely quote a certain God to have some of your value system.
Yes. Yes.
And
I
so to
adopted
me, it's like I feel
probably
like there's a
80%.
huge of things that you think you just have been taught and you haven't learned, or what?
No, I think I was taught them, and I agree with them. Right.
But and do you
Like,
know? Do you? I
I
think you
didn't need to
don't
be
know why
taught
you agree with
rape
them.
is wrong. I already agree that
What?
rape was wrong, even though I was taught rape was wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, do
There's some
you have?
innate morals I think people have,
Well, do you use the
like cheating on
the?
like if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse, and you cheat on them, you can feel really bad about it, and no one taught you that. It's just innate that you feel bad if you're a good person.
Yeah. hmm Yeah, I don't think you need a religion for that.
No,
the
no, that's what I mean. That's
fact
what
that
it
you
like. A
choose a
lot of my
religion is
values
where
I
I
just
feel like,
have because I feel that way. I
Mhm.
was
But then,
innate
yeah,
characteristics.
yeah. I
Do you
don't,
believe like the blank slate or the non-blanks? What's the other one? Do you believe in those theories? Like that a human's
I'm not
born as
sure.
a blank slate and has no innate morals or characteristics and everything is learned? Or do you think you're born with certain morals and characteristics? I think you're born with certain morals, characteristics, regardless where you are raised.
Well, I think environment has a lot to do with it. I do think that there's a part of us we do. No, I don't think we're born like right out the vagine knowing right from wrong. I mean, you have to teach kids not to touch the hot stove. They don't just know.
Right. But those grow and develop. What about like love? You're not taught love. You just innately are born with the ability to love your parents
I don't know
or love
about
a
that.
kitten. No
I
one
I don't
teaches you to love a kitten.
I think you're born with a set of tools
So
that
not a blank
maybe
slate.
not everyone uses, but they're blank tools. It's like you have this screwdriver, but like it can be used to pry open something else, and so you don't maybe know how to use that tool, but you had it. You just haven't.
Yeah, that's
I
the
don't know.
not so the blank slate people think that you're not born with any tools at all. They think you're just a robot that's waiting to be programmed.
Well, then the mechanism that's ready to be programmed is the tool that I'm talking about.
Right. So you don't
That's the
think
tool.
you're a
Then
blank slate. That's what I think.
I don't think that I think that I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this
It's
because I
hard, right?
do feel
It's
like
something
you
you're
are
gonna
blank.
ponder over time.
Epigenetics tells us that our environment will change the way that even our IQ. These things can be changed just based on environment. So
Right.
same parents, same genes, twins and shit, raised in different environments. Those things can change.
But they
So
do like the
is
twin
that because
studies
they
where they
started as a
separate
blank
twins at
slate?
birth and they grow up with the same like love to swim.
The twins might love to swim, but that doesn't mean that they're going to be like psychologically developed the same. That's not, you know what
Oh
I
no,
mean?
they're crazy. You should see some of the twin studies. They're like they
Well, they're
didn't meet or something.
they might have the same likes, but they don't have the same psychology. That's all. Because that is developed through our environment, through how we're raised, nature versus nurture. That
I
is
disagree.
100%. That's 100% known.
I
100%
disagree.
certain. That's like a Canadian 100%. So probably like a 99% American. No, I'm serious. You don't have you heard of epigenetics? Let me just bring this up real quick. Oh, the Oregon
Yeah.
Trail. Should we do that instead?
Yeah, I put it in private chat. I have it. I think I still have it. I can put it right back in again. Paste. Yep, I have it right here. In Rumble chat now. Oh, you don't have Rumble chat open, do you?
I do have it open. I'm pulling it out. Oh, dope. Okay. What? Oh, I'm hungry. Play the game or walk through. What else we have? What is this? Just some
Play the game.
Okay, you guys want to do this? The
Let's
fact
do
that
this.
values can change over time disproves everything I was trying to say. Okay, you
Yeah.
guys have never played this before, so if this is the worst, you know who
I don't know
to
what.
blame.
This was like
right
one of
down
the
there.
most exciting times in class. Like, okay, everyone get on your computer or your station or whatever they called them back in the day.
Your station, I do think they called it a station. Launching emulator. Hold on, let me see
Oh,
if I'm
see
trying
the
to click
C
large
drive,
screen.
1990. Is there sound? There's got to be a tune where you remember that.
I don't hear it.
Maybe not.
I guess not. You may travel the trail, learn about the trail, see the Oregon top 10, turn off sound, choose management options, and end. What is your choice? We're
Travel
going to
the trail,
travel the
baby.
trail. We don't
Let's
even
go
want to
for
learn
it.
about the trail. We're fucking
We didn't
pioneers.
pack. This is JF Garapi's girlfriend on the move.
Many kinds of people make the trip to Oregon. You may be a banker from Boston, be a carpenter from Ohio, be a farmer from Illinois, or find out the difference between these choices. Well, we're not going to be from Ohio, so Boston or Illinois. Banker or farmer? I think farmer. Do we want to be
I think
rich or
farmer would
useful?
survive better.
Yeah, we're going farmer. We're going to be useful. What is the first name of the
How
wagon
racist! They
leader?
wouldn't let you pick a black person.
Well, we'll call him Tyrone. Fuck them.
In
What
whiteface.
are the first names of the 4 other members? Why does this matter?
Oh yes.
Jim.
No, who's in
Jerry.
chat? Put chat in there.
Oh, Darth
You
and
got
Vicky.
Darth, beautiful.
Can I change these other ones? What's happening? Okay, it's too late. I already Darth and Vicky got to be in there with Tyrone, Jim, and Jerry.
I hope no one
Are
dies.
these names correct? No.
No. Perfect.
Change which name? To
Jim.
Oh, look at this. This is fucking awesome. Okay. This is gonna be first one shot.
Who's gonna get lost in the forest?
Oh,
Who's gonna
okay.
get swept
Can't do
away in the
names.
river?
Enter. Are these names correct? No, not again. Jerry's got to go. Who's here? What the fuck?
We only had like
WTF.
10 minutes on the computer, and it would take like that long just to get your fucking stuff
I know.
entered.
They're just trying to get you to learn what a keyboard is, I think. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, it is 1848. Your jumping off place for Oregon is Independence, Missouri. You must decide which month to leave Independence. Oh,
Ooh, time of year. How far? We're doing this on foot, right? How far is it from?
I have a horse.
Yeah, that's still on
I'm just
horse
gonna have
foot.
a horse.
It's still
Okay,
on foot.
yeah, then foot.
So
Okay.
Oregon, we want to time this. I think we're
We
10
gotta
years
leave
old.
in April because that's nice in April and it won't get shitty until like November. It's still
But
nice
is it
in
going to
May
take you
and
that long to
June.
get there? Ask for advice. Let's be smart about this.
Tyrone is your real name? Okay, let's ask for advice. 6. You attend a public meeting held for folks with the California-Oregon fever. You're told, if you leave too early, there won't be any grass for your oxen to eat. If you leave
Ooh.
too late, you may not get to Oregon before winter comes. If you leave at just the right time, there will be green grass and the weather will still be cool.
Whatever the middle month is.
Wait. Okay, back to this. What do we choose?
Oregon
What's the middle?
Trail. The original
May.
game was designed to
Do you
teach
hear that?
children about the realities of 19th century.
Can you hear any of this?
Here, the
Yes.
player must have the ability
What
to
is she?
hunt
And
by
why?
using guns
Where's
and
that coming
bullets.
from?
He
Is this
selects the
you?
hunt option
Where?
and hunts wild animals. Later, the player
I knew I
controls
shouldn't
a
ask for
lethal
advice.
man who is
Bitch, how do
capable
shut
of
her up?
pointing a rifle
May.
Just
in
try
any
type it in
directions,
May.
firing
Oh, she
single
won't
shots
stop.
at animals. The members of your party can die from
Oh, wait.
snake bites, different diseases,
stop it?
etc.
We need some medicine because someone at our party is going to get bitten by a snake.
We're going to eat that person. Before leaving Independence, you should buy equipment and supplies. You have 400 bones in
Ooh,
cash, and
budget.
you don't have to spend it all now. Got it. And when I hit the
Budget.
spacebar, it makes the page scroll, so sorry about that. You can buy whatever you need at Matt's General Store. Hello, I'm Matt. Hey, Matt.
What's
So you're going to Oregon. I can fix you up with what you need. A team of oxen to pull your wagon, clothing for both winter and summer. Okay? Plenty of food for your
Oxen.
trip, ammunition for your rifles, spare
Yes.
parts for your wagon. Okay, guys, this is where it gets for real. Which
definitely
item would you like
ammunition.
to buy?
We definitely need ammo. We're going
Okay,
out in the Wild
We'll
West.
take
There's
some
Indians.
we'll take some 4. I sell ammunition in boxes of 20 bullets. Each box costs $2. How many boxes do you want? 5. How many boxes should we get?
10.
10 boxes? You're going to spend $20? Okay.
There's Indians.
Hey, Sean. Oregon Trail. Yeah, we went through the book, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. At some point in the book, Oregon Trail came up, and so we're going to see if we can survive now
We're
that
gonna
we're
see if we
older.
can survive.
Okay, which next? Food or oxen or clothes? I don't-
Oxen. We definitely need
want
oxen because
clothes.
we can't carry that. We need the oxen.
Okay.
especially
There
if
are
you start
2
getting
oxen in a
furs.
yoke. I recommend 3 yokes. I charge $40 a yoke. I say we go with 4.
Yeah, because they're
How
gonna
much is
one's
that?
gonna break or something. Something bad will happen.
160. We're running out of money. Yeah, we'll go with 4. Food, clothing, and spare parts. Let's go for spare parts right now.
Parts, yeah,
So,
we're definitely gonna break a wheel or two.
how many
I
wheels?
get
1 wheel,
2 wheels and one
Watch.
of each. One of each.
2 wheels, an axle, and a tongue. Got it. And for food or clothing? Probably food next.
Food, yeah.
I recommend you take at least 200 pounds of food for each person in your family. Damn it, we shouldn't have brought what the flock
Gareth,
with
get off
us.
the wagon.
I remember you. Oh wait, I see that you have 5 people in all. You'll need flour, sugar, bacon, and coffee. My price is 20 bones, 20 cents a pound.
Oh, we
How
gotta
many
do some
pounds of
math.
food do you want?
We need to do math here.
How many pounds do I want? I need 200 pounds
Per
for 5
person.
people. I need 1,000 pounds of food. How many pounds do you want? 1,000.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can afford 1,000. Hell yeah, 420 is the bill. Send me an invoice, boys. I don't have this much money, so we got to get rid of something.
Drop
Which
ammunition.
we
Drop
don't
some
have any
ammunition.
clothes. Let's drop some food. Maybe we don't need that much food.
No,
Some
maybe
people
we
can-
got 10 boxes of ammo. Let's just go with like 8 or 7.
Selling ammunition box of 20. How many would you like? I know. I want to
Oh,
sell.
we need to say 20
no.
bucks.
How do I
Jesus.
get back? How do I get back? 0. Just tell it 0. Okay. How did I?
Maybe just one wheel.
Oh,
How about one wheel?
I
'Cause
can't.
the chances
I
of
already
breaking
bought
them
it.
both
I've
at
already
the
bought
same
it. There's
time?
no refunds. We didn't see the sign, but there's no refunds here. We're done. Press spacebar to leave
Go
the
to-
store. Well then, you're ready to start. Good luck. You have a long and difficult journey and no clothes. This is the worst. Can we
Let
forage?
the rumors begin.
I'm so sorry.
That's loud.
I'm so sorry. I don't think I can do anything about this. I still hear it.
No, I don't hear it.
I muted the screen, but oh my god, it's loud still for me.
Take your yeah, I don't hear it. Press spacebar, maybe it'll stop.
It's like old McDonald. Old.
Alright, who's Darth? I'm the guy with the shotgun. Darth can be that
I can't
little...
do anything while the song's going. What's happening? Do I have to push the spacebar for it to stop?
Yes, I think so.
I did. Whew, that was close. Okay, you guys can have sound back.
Weather's cool. Everything's nice.
You may continue on the trail, check your supplies, look at the map, change pace, change food, stop to rest, attempt to trade, talk to people, or buy supplies. We're going to keep on going, bro. We just started. From Independence, it is 102 miles to the Kansas River crossing. It's nice weather. The food is good.
Let's
We've
go.
got it
Crack
all.
that whip.
Let's go. To enter the side, press enter to size up the situation. Ooh, we
Ooh,
found
there you go.
wild fruit.
Get off and pick.
Look, he's just walking towards the river. I love this. I didn't remember this part. Where are the rest of my oxen? I feel like I bought a lot. You are now at the Kansas River crossing. Would you like to look around? Yeah.
Should we cross? Oh, see? Oh, you turned it down. Hit that old space
That was
bar.
that. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay, the weather's cool. We're good. We're doing good.
Yeah. Crack that whip again.
We're
Let's go.
Let's go.
Our food's going to rot if we hang around too long.
You must cross the river in order to continue. The river at this point is currently 617 feet across and 3.3 feet deep in the middle.
Crack that whip.
You may attempt to ford the river. What does that mean? Cross?
Go across.
Cock the wagon and float it across. Hell yeah. Take a ferry. No. Wait to see if conditions improve or get more information. What do you want to do?
3 feet deep? Might be too deep. That's good. If we can just get a ferry, why not? Pay a couple bucks. Be safe.
We don't have
Mosey
any
on.
bucks.
Weather's
We
nice.
spent them all.
Every penny?
Let's see what happens when we tell them we want to pay for something, even though we're broke. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Say yeah.
Are you willing
Fuck yeah.
to do this? We don't have any money. Sure, we're willing. We'll pay him on the way
Yeah,
back.
well,
Oh, you bastard.
I owe you.
They're smarter
What'd
than
he
us.
say?
Okay. So he said, you don't have enough money. Jump in the water, fool. So what do you want to do? You want to attempt to ford it or caulk the
Let's go.
wagon
Let's
and float
go.
it across?
If we wait
Which
too long,
one?
it's gonna rain. Let's go. Crack the whip. Number 1.
1 or 2? I don't know what crack the whip means. Are we floating the... What does ford the river mean?
Crack the whip means you hit the oxen with the whip to make him go forward.
There's not an option. That doesn't say crack the
Attempt
whip
to
anywhere.
ford the river. That's
Means
yes. That's
crack.
crack.
Ford means cross.
Yes.
Why would you not
Forgo.
want to? Why would you not want to caulk the wagon and float it? Does that mean turn it on its side?
No, I think it means like turn it into a boat. Like fill all the cracks in the
caulk
boards
it.
and float it across.
I would do that. Now let's just do number 1 though. Yeehaw! There we are.
Yeah, look at them go. There's a wake. They're moving. That's an extra oxen we bought.
Oh!
Oh shit!
Oh god!
They said it was only 3 feet. 2 drowned. Shots dead.
Oh no!
That's what happens when you get too
Fuck.
excited. We one died.
We were gonna sell them to the Indians. Now what? Now what? What the
I
flop?
wonder if we can keep
Get
the dead
ready, give
oxen
it the
for
first trade.
for barbecue. All right, look on the brighter side. The load's lighter now. We're 1 shorter. That means
2
more
shorter.
food for
We took
everybody.
2 of our people. We didn't need all
More
that food
food
after
for
all. We
everybody.
should have used clothes. Damn it.
Look, we're still in good conditions. That was the hardest
right.
point.
Let's go. One of the
That's
oxen
good.
is injured.
We had a backup one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh, another river. Oh shit.
May 9th. May 10th. Everything's good. We're eating a lot of food.
2 miles to
2
go.
miles to go. You are now at the Big Blue River crossing. Would you like to
Oh,
look
shit.
around?
No.
Last time it fucked us up. Let's just not look around this time. You must cross the river in order to continue. The river at this point is currently 230 feet and 2.3 feet deep in the middle.
Okay.
Who we gonna
We just crossed
who's gonna
like
die
a
this
crazy
time?
one, so I think we can do that one.
You want to try it again?
It's only 2 feet. We did 3.3, so it's a
You-
foot.
You don't know where we drown though. Let's just do it.
Get more
I mean, not
information.
do
You
it.
can always get more information.
Yeah, that might make it last longer. Let's just try. They left us in the river. You know damn well they did.
All right, so we know
Wait.
for future reference, we can do 2.2 deep for 200 meters.
The Big
Everyone
Blue
was
River
good.
crossing. We did it. We're going to the fort. This
This is like 1883.
Vicky got the measles.
Uh-oh.
Mother of Jesus. Oh, we don't have
Shake
to
it
do
off.
anything about it. That works. We're gonna leave her.
American flag. Oh shit.
Ooh, that's cool. We got a thunderstorm. I love this. We get to camp. Vicky's sick. We get to camp under the thunderstorm.
No cuddling with the measle girl.
No, but we get to care for her, so it's fine.
From a distance.
From a distance. Warm and fair, very rainy.
This
Okay,
ain't a bad
you're now
trip.
at Fort Kearney. Would you like to look around?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, we can do some trading. May 2. No.
That was it. That was what it looked like at Fort Kearney. Okay. Cool, fair, steady, and filling. Continue.
Change pace.
Oh,
means-
it's too late. I'll have to change pace next time. Press
We're doing good, though.
enter to size up the situation. Oh, yeah. Oh. Change pace. There we go. Holy crap. Steady, strenuous, grueling. Find out what these different
Strenuous.
paces mean. Which one? 3?
Strenuous. Not crazy.
2?
Just like, I'll just pick up the pace a little bit. Number 2.
Yeehaw. Continue on. It's a day after my birthday. A lot of years before I was
Hey.
born. We found another wild fruit.
Nice. See? Wins. We're hitting it at the right time of year. Uh-oh.
We
Is that
found
a
a
fire?
dead tree, y'all.
What is that?
It's a dead tree. It's a robbers. I bet there's robbers. Damn, Vicky, now you got the shits.
Vicky's having a rough go.
Dysentery.
She
Sorry
should be
about
eating
that.
more fruit.
Shit behind a tree. You're now at Chimney Rock. Would you like to look around? No,
Sure.
that's where the music comes from. From Chimney Rock, it is 86 miles to Fort Laramie. Okay. Dude,
I told you we should have stopped and got Vicky fucking little medical attention or something.
was that an option?
To stop and look around, you could have found a doctor's office.
That wasn't an option. They're going to play us a song. Man, Vicky, I'm
I
sorry
tried to
had
save you,
happened to you.
Vicky. Remember, I tried to
She
save you.
said, what?
I was looking out for her.
I hate this game. Why'd you make me name them after my friends? Shit. Here we go. Colonizers, dead ahead.
What's that flag?
June 2nd. You are now at Fort Laramie. Would you like to look around? Yeah,
Yes.
just in case. Oh, my Lancer. Look what happened when we looked around. The Indians.
Indians.
Health is poor. My health or all of our health?
I
Are there
think-
only 2 of us left? We're going to keep
We
going.
need to do something.
We should go faster so we don't all die before we
No,
get
was
there.
there a doctor? Was there anything?
There was
like
nothing. You
a
just have
shop? We could have bought medicine.
to... What the
fuck
fuck
has
has
measles?
measles? Uh-oh.
Find
Well, we did
fruit.
find
See,
her the
yes.
fruit. Flock and Tyrone, it's up to you. Oh,
Uh-oh,
shit,
we
she
need
died
water.
fast. What in the fuck? That's number 4. It's because they're not wearing clothes. This is probably exactly why they died.
We haven't gone through much food though. Look at the benefits.
I was gonna eat them. We didn't even need food. I like these mountains. I think they did a great job. Do you think we're in Utah?
Or yeah, I guess so.
You are now at Independence Rock. Would you like to look around?
Yeah, there might be some
Yeah.
lodging because the conditions are poor.
Let's see if we get attacked by Indians again.
Hey, there's a little community down there.
All right. So the weather's cool. We are in poor health. Let's. Oh.
Stop to rest. That was probably See, people
stop
just need to
rest.
heal
That's
up,
what we
get
should have
something
done
to
when they
eat.
were sick. How many days would you like to rest? I'm gonna stay here for 6 days.
Jesus.
Hell yeah! I should have stayed for 375. I should have made it till my birthday. I would like to rest for 70,000 days.
All right. No, we got some
Okay.
fair weather, so we let the weather pass.
That's our health.
Attempt to trade? Who can we trade with?
Oh my god, we can talk to people. We'll trade with them after we talk to them. Big Louie tells you, Louie! Hell yeah. Goodbye, Platte River. Goodbye, Sandhills and White Buffalo Schools. Now we climb the Sweetwater Valley to cross the Continental Divide at South Pass. Once across the Rockies, we'll make a steep descent into the Green River Valley. Oh, there's a song about this. I know it.
Louie.
Everyone's not dead. We're still good. It's Louie time. If you're
See,
smoking,
if you guys could have hung on a little longer and toughened it out.
we don't really need to trade, but maybe we can get some clothes. You meet another immigrant who wants 1 ox. He will trade you 190 bullets. How come we haven't had to use any of our bullets?
We haven't come across the Indians yet, but they're coming.
I was thinking elk, but sure, maybe we'll shoot at people. We only have 6 oxen. I'm not giving him one. We're not even there yet. Sorry, dude. A couple of our dings drowned.
I thought we only bought 3 oxen. And 1
3
died.
yokes, so there were 6. Each yoke had 2.
Oh.
Wait a minute. How do we still have 6?
Right. That's
Oh, because we
Maybe-
started with 2 and we bought 6 and we lost 2. So we still have our 6 that we bought. We lost our originals. We have no bullets?
Didn't we sell those for
No, we just, I'm doing it. Very rainy and fair. Let's go. From Independence Rock, it is a 102 miles to South Pass.
no problem.
Yeah, dude, I totally could have conquered the West. This is so easy. Wrong trail. Fuck.
That's
I
what,
spoke
woman
too soon.
driver.
Way too soon.
A woman driver.
Immediately
She
too
was singing her tunes.
Tyrone did it. Going back. You are now at South Pass. Would you like to look around? Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, look at that.
Gun ahead.
Caravan, Indians, everything. They look like they're running.
I don't know what happened, but we're going to continue. The trail divides here. You may head for Green River Crossing, head for Fort Bridger or see the map. I guess we'll have to look
Let's
at
see
the
the
map
map.
to make this choice. What?
Oh wow.
Where are we? You
Fort
are
Bridger is
where?
going away from our destination, but it
What?
probably has better supplies.
Oh, we're at South Pass.
It's quicker to go straight across, but I'm guessing the fort's got a reason it's south.
But we don't need anything. We have our bullets. We have our oxen. We did
I
lose our
thought you
people.
said we lost all of our bullets.
I just traded them with some immigrant. 97
Oh,
of them.
so now we need some more, don't we? Or did?
I bought them, so I gave
Oh,
them
you
an
got the
oxen.
bullets. Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah, okay, maybe not. Unless there's medicine at the fort.
We already... Oh, everyone dead. Who cares? Head for Green River and head for the fort. We're going for Green River. I make an executive decision.
All right.
Okay.
I think we should go fast.
We should speed up the pace. I'll do that. Enter to size up your situation. Enter. Change pace.
The weather's nice.
Strenuous pace. Grueling. 3.
Grueling.
Let's go. We're gonna gruel.
But then I think we should rest.
Ah, fuck, I got bit by... Someone got bit by a snake. The driver.
Tyrone squatted in the bushes.
You are now at Green River Crossing. Would you like to look around? Yep.
Oh, there's how you float your wagon across.
They caught the wagon. Number 1, let's just get to Oregon. You must cross the river in order. I could swear we had to stop and like duck hunt in this bitch. Do you remember that at all?
21 feet. Nah, it's too deep. You can't cross that, baby.
Oh, we're gonna get to do the river, the thing. We're doing number 2.
Ferry.
Put your cock in the river.
Oh, shit.
Your cock too small.
You
What?
tripped.
2 wheels and an axle. Anti-Roan dead. Shit. Who's left?
Me.
Oh, he got
Here
a
lies
headstone.
Tyrone. Little T Tyrone.
Okay. Sorry, Tyrone. Would you like to write an epitaph? Yeah. Oh, wait, you can't write certain stuff? Can't write an H? What's an
R.I.P.
What? How come we can only write some shit? Q, E works, Y works, A-O. That's all I'm writing, I guess. That's it. End. What? Would you like
No wonder
to
this
write...
game didn't take off.
Oh, the S works. Enter.
S.A.
How do I get past this screen? I don't give a shit.
A.
No gamepads detected. Oh, I just have to tell it yes or no. God damn it, I'm an idiot. Yes, I would like to write an epitaph. Thank you for asking. Hold on, let me get to it. Would you like it on the tombstone?
Good thing I'm stoned.
Yeah. God damn it.
It's Tuesday.
Would you like to make any changes? Not at this point, sir. I'm just gonna fucking get back on with this. Oh, that was the last one? Why?
Spacebar.
You may. Is it over?
I think so. Everyone's dead.
What the hell is the top 10? These mother... Can we win?
Yeah,
We gotta
if you-
try to
if you
win.
do it right. That's what I'm saying. If you do it right and make the right choices.
What are you talking about? We did amazing, except for the fact that we had no clothes and you just wanted to tally all
Me?
through the river.
You are the making executive decisions.
Bored means found on road dead. It always has and it always will. And I should have picked number 2.
You made executive decisions. I didn't.
Would
But
you
we
like
learned,
to see
hey,
how
we
many
learned from
points
our
are
failures that
earned?
our food rations lasted a long time, so we don't need crazy amounts of food.
Oh shit, look, we can learn how to win. The most important resource is the people you have with you. You receive points for each member of your party who arrives safely. You receive more points if they arrive in good health.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
You don't, that's what I'm saying after the fact. These resources, the resources
That's why I
you
was
arrive
always
with,
looking for medicine. I played
You
it.
were
Don't
not.
you,
Vicky
don't you
died, and
remember
you're
this
like,
game
maybe
at
we
all?
should see if there's a doctor in town.
I think you stood over someone's shoulder while they played this game. I don't think you played it.
Oh man, I didn't
It's
learn
my
shit in
turn.
4th grade. We had nothing. Points. Okay, wait. Resource. So the wagon is worth something. Your ox are only worth 4. Your cash isn't worth anything. Your food's not worth shit. Your bullets aren't worth shit. So at the end, you
Your
need to
oxen and your
have
people are
clothes.
what you want to keep alive.
Oh wait, for each 25 pounds you get a point. For each $5 you get a point. Okay, so it does.
So yeah, if you got 1,000 pounds of food, that's 1,000 points.
You receive points for your occupation in the new land because more farmers and carpenters were needed than bankers. You receive double points upon your arrival if we would have just arrived as a carpenter, and triple points for arriving as a farmer. Triple points.
Triple.
We
See,
really
we picked
marked
farmer, right? That was the
this
first. That
game.
was the. See, we're
We did.
learning.
All right. Well, there's 30 minutes y'all are never going to get back. I hope you enjoyed.
But you're gonna have to play again
watching us
next
kill off our
Tuesday
friends.
after the next chapter.
Yeah. Next Tuesday we'll be way better at the Oregon Trail. And the driver will be one of you guys. I beautifully will
Ooh.
have been the driver.
See who we can keep alive this time.
Yeah. All right, we're done.
Perfect.
Thanks for hanging out with us, chat. Was this fun for you? Did you learn anything about choice?
Always make your choices.
Yeah.
Like you have a little
It'd be
devil on your shoulder.
Bad choice to Oregon Trail with us. That's we did learn that. Everyone's dead, and only one guy got a tombstone. All right, so on Thursday, I have a show. Thursday night. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come join. Is my sister still here? Inappropriately said,
I think
are
so.
you here? And
Maybe.
kind of unrelated question, but you work Thursday night?
Me?
Because no,
You.
my sister.
Oh.
If she's here, I just have a question about that.
Oh, that's
But
a good
this Thursday
point.
night is
Witchy Bish
What?
said we would have done better if we had clothes on. We probably wouldn't have caught so many dysenteries and stuff.
Oh, they said the last time you had the option to hunt for food, so I wasn't reading the options good enough.
Yeah. We'll have to get her
Okay, to be
stone
fair,
next
I just
time,
kinda
chat,
wanted
'cause
to
then
get
she'll
through the game.
focus. That's a problem.
Yeah, next time if we can get out of the book in 2 hours, then I'll go get the bong with Louie, and then we're gonna win Oregon Trail. We're gonna beat that bitch who's on the leaderboard.
Louie this
First
bitch out.
place or nothing. Yep. That was fun. I actually enjoyed today. Did
Yeah,
you?
no, it was good. Yeah, it was great.
All right, so we're gonna take off.
31 hung
beautiful-
on for the Oregon Trail, so
Aw, thanks, guys. If you hated it, it's Noah's fault, and if you loved it, it was my fault.
yeah, that's how it rolls. Around
Not in
here.
the live chat, but in the comments under the video, write. What should you
Wear
write?
clothes next time.
Yeah. Give us some Oregon Trail tips that mean nothing to anybody unless they get to the very end of this video and they'll realize what the hell comments were about. So not in live
Exactly.
chat, but in the comments. Go there. Yesterday
Feed
I
the
asked you to share
algorithm.
this video. Today I'm asking you to write a
Thumbs
comment
up,
in the comment
like it,
section.
and comment.
And if you didn't like it, just thumbs down. And the interaction is the interaction. It's gonna make me feel bad, and I'm gonna cut myself. Wait, what was the other thing besides cutting that people do? Oh, I'll eat spicy food.
Yes. Yes, that was it.
I will torture myself with spicy food if you
Ghost pepper
thumbs
challenge,
down
because
this.
those are always funny.
It'd be the worst. Hell no, I'll never do that. I'll never ever do that. I mean, seriously, when I say teriyaki is a little spicy for me, it's half a joke and half actually true.
Darth, will you do
don't
the
know
ghost
why.
pepper challenge on video?
Hideous, so leave me home next time. I don't want to die this way. Okay, that's fair. But if you're the only one in chat, you might be every person on the wagon.
Right.
Maybe if we used our names, we wouldn't have been so willy-nilly about their lives.
That's what
Like,
I was
there
hoping.
goes Flock. Keep going. Poor Vicky with dysentery. Let's go.
Right. Or if one of us dies off, we can't talk or give advice because we're dead.
Oh, hell yeah. It'll be like this. Divinity's
the other
dead.
one alive.
Just Nova. She's in the river with the oxen.
Now we can set up camp and make a home.
All right, dudes. My dog is barking and the show is over. So we'll
Yeah.
see you Thursday in the evening at 9 o'clock
Yes.
Eastern. Come back.
Tune in.
I
Be there.
promise you this Thursday I will
Or be
take you to
square.
the best internet website on the whole internet. I'm 100% certain that you've never been there.
Ooh.
I know you've
Really?
never been there. You don't get out much. You stay on some weird places. But I learned about this from my 7-year-old. It's super, super dope. You guys might know where it's at. But it'll be a fun little Thursday night fuck around sesh. No learning. No, I'm not going to force any information
No thinking.
in
No
her bullets. I mean,
thinking.
I might. I might. There is going to be learning, to be fair. This website's dope, but it's not like there will be no test. That's what it
Tricky
is.
learning, yeah. Snuck in learning.
Yes. Like the
Right.
Oregon Trail just did. We all know the distance between some place and some place. It's in our minds. We might not know it yet.
And how deep of water we can handle and can't handle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. So we'll see you
Right.
guys. Nova will be back next Monday. I'll be back on Thursday.
Peace.
Peace in the Middle East.